Hello, hello. We're live.
Hey, trying something new. Yeah, this should be fun.
Yeah. First time on Twitch. For me personally, it's been years. I used to stream back.
Really?
My first streams were like 2013,
Yeah.
maybe in 2012. It's been a while.
So this is going to go very smoothly, right?
Exactly, yeah. I'm super knowledgeable. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and I think we have some other people joining a bit later. Chalks, and I think it's just Chalks. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All
Alright.
right. Um, should we? Do you want to like maybe just talk through the update first? Or just like yeah, like run through them. Or just like yeah, like run.
Hello, Dejan.
Hello. I can be around for like 30 minutes.
Alrighty.
Oh, nice. I think
Yeah,
So
it's
much
I
stuff.
haven't
towards the
really,
bottom.
I haven't had a chance to look through this yet, so
Oh, be
Oh,
prepared.
uh
really?
It's a lot.
no, I
Yeah.
have not. All I know is Pseudo Wudo is broken now.
Absolutely, yes. Swampert has to fear now. I wonder, I'm curious actually. Before we even start this, how much does an earthquake do to a Swampert from a Sudowoodo?
Wait, why do we care about Earthquake? We just gonna
It is a
trailblaze
lot,
it.
anyways. Yeah, well, now you do, but earthquake does a fair bit too. You put a shadow on that. That does a hefty chunk. That's a nerf earthquake too.
True.
Hello,
Wait,
skinny
so you
kid.
you have
Welcome.
actually seen it. You have actually read it then.
No, I only know because Karch was like, "Oh, time to make Pseudo work this season."
Oh, okay. Because that was a
Yeah.
really obscure one to just know if you hadn't read the article. Because I don't even think I knew that one, or at least I didn't notice it.
I'm down for
I
it though.
mean,
I feel
like,
like I feel
when we get to
like
that section,
this
there's
is
like a
low
million.
key. No, this is low key like really fucking good for Pseudo. I should also watch my profanity. This is really good for Pseudo because I feel like in a lot of limited metas, like Sylph metas, um Pseudo is a very good like a counter user for farm downs into certain types, right?
Hmm.
I I, I felt like like in a meta with like Lapras or something, you shield through, you farm it down or some other ice type or rock types because there's always like metas with like Graveler or the mirror matchup or something, and now you can actually like hit back at basically everything.
More so than the current moveset?
Yeah, because mainly the water types, to be honest. I think you would
Hmm.
still
That's
rock
true.
slide or meteor beam, right?
Yeah. All the pure waters, Blastoise, Politoed, etc., etc.
Yeah, exactly. And what it brings a debuff or a buff? What does it do
I believe
again?
it's a buff. Self
It's
buff.
a flame charge clone,
It's
so
a
it's
flame
just
charge button.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just
exactly.
S
Figures
type.
that up too. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's nice. Or like Umbreons too, and things like that, right? We've seen
Yeah,
some
no, that's true. There's a
restricted
lot of
metas
metas.
with Pseudo and
There,
Umbreon.
there were a lot of pseudo meta matchups, right? That like felt so weird for pseudo, even though it has counter. But with
Hmm.
Trailblaze, it just like adds the counter damage, and then you farm
Hmm.
down, and then you have a bunch of energy. Yeah. Now trying to figure out how to make it work in open. Hey, it does get a better Carbink matchup with this. I'll tell you that.
Hmm.
And a better Azu matchup.
Technically.
But yeah, no,
Alright.
I'm just kidding about pseudo and open. But
Well,
yeah,
it'll
let's
be
take
fun.
a look.
Let's
It'll
run
be
through
fun.
this
This is true.
this
Let's go. Let's
monster
go.
update. Everything's gonna be
Yeah.
fun. It's a whole new game.
True.
I think after looking at my own PV poke that I have set up here with everything here, it's a lot of changes. It's gonna be pretty drastic, and some of them aren't even announced yet. And hopefully, they're
Yeah.
optimistic ones. We don't
Like,
know.
bruh, like Greninja's 23. What?
I think it says on the current one right now.
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
current one.
No, this is mine, but I think on the
Yeah.
current one it's really highly ranked too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Hmm.
Nice. Superior 27. That's wild.
That
Does
is the wild
Superior
one.
become
With
the preferred grass type with aerial ace now?
uh, except for Cress, but Cress is
Well, I
not
meant like a true grass type.
yeah. Also, you can see here, I added energy counts for all the potential moves too. So if we go to like, let's just go to Superior.
Should we explain what this?
Yo, yo.
Some people might not even know. Like, hey, what's
Yeah,
up?
yeah, yeah. Go through what this is, Shiny.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so this is like offline PV poke, right? Do you want to explain a little bit about what that is? And huge shout out to Matt, by the way, too, for making all this open source and allowing people to sort of host this in this manner. I don't know enough about it though to say any more than that, so I'll let you
yeah.
talk.
So essentially, PvPoke Matt, he opened his entire code base to the public, so anyone can run their own PvPoke, and anyone can make their own changes to it as well. So in this case, I just added more moves, changed stats of them, did my own rankings. It's pretty cool, and it's all thanks to him opening this, so we can do this fun little analysis here. So in this case, I added two aerial aces because we don't know what it's going to be. They didn't announce energy changes, exact numbers. They just gave us if it happened or not, which is a little weird, but we'll make it work. We can do matrix views later on and compare the two of them together side by side. Some of them are more drastic, like Dig is like, it was like a 20 damage decrease. So who knows what the energy is going to be? it's
Yeah,
We added a ton
aerial
of
ace.
them.
The nice thing about it is currently it's
Yeah.
55-45, and they say the energy will be reduced. So that literally just leaves two options. It's either 55-40 or 55-35. So
Or
it's either
33.
flying.
They did that once with Weatherball Rock, and then they fixed it.
Oh,
We'll do that
right.
again.
So like flying punch or flying weather ball is basically the two
Yeah.
options that could
So
be.
let's um I think we can probably safely say it's not 55-35 because that just seems busted.
Yeah. There's a lot of spammy, bulky Pokemon with
Like,
it.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what
To be
Weather
honest,
Ball is?
the only two spammy and bulky Pokemon with that, it's Mantine, Mandibuzz, and Tropius, right? Oh,
Yeah,
even
and we want
Jumpluff.
none of those to have a Weather
Yeah.
Ball.
Jumpluff and Gligar are pretty bulky too, I think.
That's true.
Yeah.
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 Gligar's already
The
like
thing
15th
is,
best here, and depending
Not
on the
not
meta, it
main
could be
people.
higher.
Yeah. You definitely named the bulkiest though. That's true. Those other three are in a different,
Yeah.
slightly higher tier for sure.
We can sort by stat
yeah,
breadth here and see. Like, there's some pretty bulky ones.
Oh
yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Wait, the Shadow Ledian Butters will be happy.
Yeah. Just ignore the typing, but yeah, it's got good stat product. Look at that, 2200. That's up there.
Yeah, it's similar to G-Fisk, yeah.
Well, it's similar to
Yeah.
G-Fisk, except it's double weak to G-Fisk. So,
Yes.
It's okay. It has dynamic punch for coverage.
The
yeah.
thing is, if they make it a flying punch, I don't think those glassy bugs that learn aerial ace like Beedrill and Golisopod will want to run aerial ace. They'll prefer X Scissor probably, right? So
Well, yeah. Well, X-Scissor did get buffed, right? So
yeah, it.
That's true. Although like Shadow Beedrill, there was some matchups that were just crazy that it would flip because of the bait into drill run. So I could see it actually still preferring um a
X Scissor.
cheaper. Yeah, if it's 35, I guess. If it's
Yeah.
40, then yeah. Then maybe yeah, maybe
well,
no.
X-Scissor got energy increased as well, right?
Yeah, it's a surf clone now, I think.
I don't think
Okay.
they announced
Yeah,
it.
not confirmed,
Let's see.
but
Yeah, they didn't tell us the energy yet. So, could be 40 or
But
45.
it
Maybe
has to be
50,
at least
but I
40
don't
or
think 50 would
45.
make sense.
Yeah, 50 would just be a nerf, like big nerf
Yeah.
into an already
yeah.
mediocre move. So
Yeah, there's nothing in the game I think that's 65-50 without some sort of buff associated like flame
like,
charge, if I
yeah.
remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's either 65-45, which is a discharge clone, or a surf clone. And there's like several things that are in the surf clone, like brutal swing, icicle sphere. There's a bunch of things that are in the surf clone, like brutal swing, icicle sphere. Magna Storm. So yeah,
That will be
Yeah.
interesting. I don't know if that's what Bug needs. We'll see. A lot of
No,
bugs are squishy.
I don't know if I think bugs just need stats.
Yeah, to be honest, for bug moves to be meta, they need to be overpowered because bugs lack such coverage, right?
Yep. And the issue with that is there's non-bugs that learn those moves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
You know, I got X's or 40 here with the
yeah.
thing, and it's pretty low rank for Beedrill. That's a downgrade. I think it's like 100th right now.
X's are at 40.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, oh yeah,
This might
yeah.
be pretty rough on it.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like I think it probably just wants aerial ace at
Yeah.
this point.
The
Yeah,
top
I
things
think
don't even
Poison
use it.
Jab, Aerial Ace, and Drill Run will be sick coverage for Beedrill. Will make it
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why
Flying
pretty
ground is
vital
also
for
Mhm.
still the
farming mode.
best.
Yeah,
bug is
yeah.
already a very mid offensive typing. So
Mm-hmm.
like flying, yeah, flying just is just better.
Yeah. I mean, flying ground covers pretty much everything except for like Skarmory, which
Electric.
Skarmory's dead now. Spoiler.
Oh wait, not, yeah, flying. How do I
It's
say electric?
it's
Yeah,
gone.
What is it? Yeah.
yeah. Flying ground's insanely
Armory
good
got
coverage. I actually think
removed. Oh
it's.
my god.
Yeah.
Rip to
Oh
those
yeah,
people who built
yeah.
Ultra
Oh, I
League
mean,
Armory.
yeah, the 50 to sky attack just like you know kind of hit that sweet charged move like count breakpoint where like everything just got way more expensive in comparison because it
Yeah,
was
it was perfectly energy efficient with
yep
9 energy from air slash into 45 of sky attack. So like
yep
any increase, whether it's 50, 55, whatever, like
yep even
it's
like the
gonna
wing,
completely throw it off.
even the wing attackers though, right? Like you were getting
Yeah.
to like 665 super efficiently and
Also, also any increase is gonna make it not be able to stack sky attack with Brave Bird. So
yeah,
that's
that's
another
true.
big downside to it.
That's big actually. Yeah, you can't stack. That sucks.
There is one silver lining here, is that Corviknight's still not released yet. And it's got a not Sky Attack.
What was it fly?
It's got Drill Peck.
No, but wasn't there like a shadow fly added to the game at some point, which is a sky attack clone or something like that?
The Move Fly?
Yeah.
It's in
Or
the
am I just
game.
misremembering that? Is it, right? I thought it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, it's
Pikachu
in
can
the
learn it.
Pikachu with balloons. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's sky attack
80
clone, right?
40. Yeah.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
still there.
There's
Fly?
potential
No,
to
fly's
improve.
Oh
better.
no, it's better.
Fly's
That was the pre-sky.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's old sky
it's
attack, yeah.
old sky attack. Yeah.
Wow. I wonder what learns it.
Yeah. Uh,
Like every flying type ever almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
Except
Dude, the thing is that learn it in game are things that don't even make sense. I know that. I meant in Pokemon
yeah.
Go. Like, what even learns this? Okay, well, you got that. There's nothing here.
Yo, Drampa, let's go.
Yeah, when...
Cranrant? Polly?
Hmm.
No, but let's get back to the changes.
Yeah, how about we
Mhm.
yeah.
just start from the top? We were just going rambling while we started. But,
Yeah, but I think let's just go through the moves, right?
yeah, we
Nobody
don't really
really
need to
cares
talk
about
about
the
this.
GBL metas. Who cares?
Yeah.
There's good
I
stuff
think
here.
the movesets is what
Big one,
everyone
though,
hears.
get Carbinks from PvP now. That's pretty
That's
big.
Yeah,
true.
that's pretty
You
cool.
Yeah.
can trade them and get really good ones.
Yeah, I can stop stealing from my locals. I can actually trade with people who PvP, which is good.
Hello, Matt. Nice to see you here. Yet to be released, Corviknight has Drill
Hey.
Peck instead of Sky Attack. Yep, we just talked about it. It's that'll be the Skarmory replacement because it is looking pretty bad right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is it's gonna be pretty much useless in OGL. It was already pretty niche before, but
Yeah, and people actually have level 50 Skarmories as well for Ultra League, so rip
Oh,
them.
that's painful. Yeah. Yeah, that's
oh, that's a
horrible.
tough
Yeah,
one.
And the people that made the 50 Noctowls.
Oh,
yeah, true, true. Man,
Oh, that does.
I mean,
Make
people who build those already have too much dust to begin with, right? So I think they'll be fine.
That's fair. I'm glad I never made my Skarmory, but you know
Yeah,
what
I
stunk
can
now?
stop trading for XLs now.
You know what has the exact same stats as Skarmory, right?
Who does?
Mantine.
Oh yeah, Mantine, yeah,
Exact same stats. Time to max that perfect Mantine for Ultra League.
yeah. But yeah, let's go
Maybe,
through the move
maybe.
changes then.
So we start with Spark, or
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
First
okay.
up, we
I
got
mean,
Spark. This is
yeah, main target is Lantern, right? And it's probably
Yeah.
gonna become a Bullet Punch clone.
Yeah, probably, which is not bad
Yeah, it
by any
just makes
means.
it less
Energy efficient. Right.
less
Like,
neutral, right? It's more of a RPS type of moveset.
yeah, yeah, because it's just not as reliable into its counters anymore.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, like this could very much just be a side grid into Water Gun Lantern, which obviously is more RPS, but it's not like Water Gun Lantern was or Spark Lantern was doing great into like grass types anyway, right? So
Yeah, the thing is with Water Gun Lantern, stuff like Wall Rain, the Shadow Wall Rain,
yeah,
like
yeah, and
Toxapex can
Azu,
actually beat it, which is pretty good.
yeah,
Lantern doesn't dominate all water types now, which is cool.
correct, which is true. Yeah, so like I think it's healthier than what it was for sure, but again, like it's not going anywhere.
Well,
Mhm.
again, it was just insanely efficient, right? Like you had eight
Right, exactly.
into 40, so it was like 5 sparks to every surf, and then
And it
like
was yeah,
eight
yeah.
into 55 as well was insanely efficient.
Yeah,
Like
it was 5 and 7
seven to every
straight.
turn ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whether it's 7 energy or 6 energy, it'll be a hit. I think 6/6 would be a feint attack clone, so it's either a bullet punch clone or a feint attack clone.
I think
Six,
Painted Deck
seven, or
Clone would
6.
actually just be bad.
Yeah.
I think Bullet Punch Clone is still playable.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, even if it's a bullet punch clone, I think water gun will still be the meta staple because even with certain IVs, water gun lantern could beat spark lantern in zeros if you had a defense weighted
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, and right. No, that's true. And I think like some of the things like Spark was also better for Metacham, right?
Yeah, yeah. If you
Yeah.
landed a thunderbolt, you could just win once.
Yep. And so like that's the kind of matchup that we don't know if we'll see as much anymore,
Mhm.
right? Like if the meta shakes up, maybe you just need Water Gun Lantern over Spark now. Like let's say Carbink becomes popular, right? Things like that. You just want Water Gun at that point.
Yeah,
So
true.
Gligar, right? Like if
yeah.
Gligar is busted as people think it is, you just want Water Gun. So maybe Water Gun Lantern is just the meta because of how the meta is shifting.
What are we looking at here, Shiny? Is this
Yeah.
two
So
different sparks?
I put up 3 lanterns here. We got a water gun, we got a Spark 7 energy, and a Spark 6 energy one here. So you can
And
see
this
that
is
the Spark 7 has a pretty good win rate, but when you
Oh
actually look
geez,
at
yeah.
the details, it's like you win the mirror, right? You win against Mandibuzz, and then the rest of these, I mean, Sableye's pretty good too right now. Although we'll see, based on Metacham's usage, who knows if it's still really,
Yeah,
really good. And honestly, Water Gun's pretty good into it too. But Obstagoon, Toxapex, Toxicroak, and Walrein aren't really common right now.
yeah, that's true.
You know what? I should check and see
Though
if the VOD is recording right now. That's a good point.
we'll just do a spaces going all through all of this again if it isn't recorded. Don't worry.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Yeah. I mean that's still a pretty stupid win rate. Not gonna lie. Like Bullet Punch is not a bad move, right? By any means. It's
Yeah,
a very playable move.
what
Um
shield scenario is this
This
again?
is the
this
ones.
is ones, I think.
Oh, actually,
Ones. Oh,
I did forget the IVs. We want to look at optimal IVs here.
Yeah.
That's pretty
oh,
close.
okay.
Oh, Water Gun goes
That
up a
really
lot though.
that really
Mhm.
closed the gap between Water
Spark
and
and water.
Spark. Yeah.
You get Umbreon and Sableye. now. You
Mhm.
lose Sableye
Yeah.
with Spark. I mean, it's pretty neutral, right? Both neutral, both sides, all moves.
Yeah.
And
I
those
think
could,
it's Lantern will still be neutral, just less OP because with the previous Spark you had a 60% win, 60+% win rate in all shield scenarios, which is way too busted for
yeah,
great.
yeah, agreed. Um, I would like to see Lantern's usage kind of go down, but I don't know if we'll see that.
This matrix does include the damage buff, yes. Everything here has the damage buffs because we already know the values for that. But the only thing is the question mark is the energy, and that's what I signify here. It's not signified on this one, but up here, yeah. We got 7 and 6.
Yeah.
You can usually tell which one's a better one because, 30 more.
Yeah.
So this one I think is more likely, to be honest. I think
Yeah.
6 would just be like overkill. I think
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
want to kill their Pokemon that quickly. Except for
Though
Noctowl.
to be honest,
But
they've done that with
Yeah.
Nido Queen, for example. They killed it
That's
completely
that's
from the
true.
meta, right?
They did do that, yeah.
Well,
And you
the difference with Lantern though is it's got water gun, right? Like you're never killing Lantern because it's just gonna
it
run.
has,
Like you kill Spark Lantern, you don't kill
Mhm.
Lantern.
right. No, that's a good point. Because like 6, if you go 6 energy on it, isn't that the same energy as water gun? Like energy per second?
that's a good question, actually.
6, you mean?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah, so then like there's like zero incentive to run Spark because water gun is just more damage and the same energy.
So Water
True,
Gun
true.
is 3 and 3.
It would only
Sparks,
be
yeah,
for the mirror
exact
matchup,
same.
pretty much.
Yeah, so
just
like
for
it would
typing.
only be good in like type effective matchups, but things that Spark is good into, you're most likely already winning besides like the wall reigns type of situations. So like
Yeah.
you're just from water gun then, right? It's just better.
Yeah, one turn
One,
too.
one turn
Yeah.
greater
And
than
it's a
2
one
turns.
turn fast move, exactly.
Yeah, more likely to hit breakpoints is the biggest thing for one turn. Like it's easy to look at 3-3 versus 3-3, right? But you got to keep in mind, like because it's a one turn, it's way more likely to hit those breakpoints in certain matchups.
I guess these are all the same IVs. There'll be no breakpoints here. That's a little messy.
Yeah, we look at zeros
Yeah, we can look at zeros. It's a good one too.
because the old Spark Lantern was really dominant in zeros as well. I'm just curious. Okay, this still looks pretty good in zeros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still beat
So
Altair,
maybe it's a copium nerf like they did with Medicham as well, right? Maybe it's not that bad.
I'm
Yeah.
reluctant to call it a nerf if it's 6-7. If it's 6-6, I'd call it a nerf. But if it's 6-7, that's more like side grade, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think it just performs a different role. Like the matchups will slightly shift, but it'll still be very, very good with Spark.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll depend on what the meta is and which. I don't know. It's like, are you gonna be playing a Gligar and a Carbink every game, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Because like
Well, so
I put
that's
the
the
sim
thing, like,
on with Spark initially, and it was like ranked 40th or 50th, just because it thought that it wasn't gonna be very good against the meta. But I mean, looking here, it's like it's a pretty good win rate still with Spark.
yep.
Yeah, I mean, we
Well,
definitely have some Gligar believers. If Gligar ends up being very meta, then yeah, you definitely see Water
that's
Gun probably.
that, that's kind of the thing. Like,
dominant.
I don't think they've introduced any new Pokemon that just hard beat Lantern. Maybe if people want to run Superior, but like besides that, I don't think anyone's running Tropius or Jumpluff, to be honest, because there's still like Sandslash that's gonna be around and Registeel is gonna be around, right? Like that I feel like those guys are huge liabilities. I honestly think Superior is not great either, but um it doesn't look like there were any new meta additions that target Lantern in particular, besides Gligar into Spark Lantern. If you want to call that a target, I wouldn't personally. So, yeah, Lantern's still going to be Lantern.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
probably meta dependent, like you guys were talking about earlier, whether or not it leans Water Gun or Spark. And then if it's 6-6, then I think Water Gun's probably just better, right? If it's 6-6.
oh yeah, if
Mm-hmm.
it's 6 Water Gun's going to be better in like probably like 75+% of your matchups. It's literally just gonna be like fringe flyers, maybe like Altaria and stuff like that, right? Where you'd want
Yeah.
the spark.
And Altaria took a pretty
And
hit
mirror,
too.
right?
So
Yeah,
Probably mirror might be the most relevant.
in mirror. Well, no, because like Jock said earlier, right? In the mirror, if you run some interesting IVs, you could just win the zeros with water gun.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
Yeah, I
interesting.
if
would
you run
try.
the 0-15-10 Lantern, which is the defense weighted one, with still good stat product, you win zeros with
Yeah,
water gun.
Oh,
really,
I didn't
that's
know that.
pretty.
Well, is
Well,
that dependent on the old spark? Because it could be like the fact that you barely take a
I
move.
think you pretty much get a spark bulk point, but yeah, it was the old spark. I guess now
Exactly.
with the
So
new
might
one,
not matter
since it's
anymore.
more damage.
Yeah.
yeah.
That may no longer be the case.
oh, interesting.
So Spark does 5 every time now. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that
And how much
breakable
did
point's
old spark?
irrelevant.
How much was old spark?
Old Spark was 8 energy.
No, no.
Or
How
wait,
much damage
damage?
did old spark
4
do?
damage.
Yeah.
Now it's 6.
Okay. Yeah. So you guarantee hit the break point.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. Just different matchup, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Less IV variations needed.
I think
Mm-hmm.
like I think it's always cool when people talk about like the interesting IVs. You know how like Axon broke his down, things like that. And then
Yeah, yeah.
something like this happens,
And it breaks everything.
and then you now you just have an inferior Pokemon, right? Like it's
And
but like
that's
I
why there's
do
always rank purists, right? That run the rank one
exactly.
regardless
Like
because it's
House Stark
sustainable.
Future
always
proof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yep,
it's future proof. Yeah.
exactly. But I mean I see both sides of it, right? Like I think you should just build two.
Mhm.
2 IVs?
All right.
Or 2 moves?
No, no, like two IV distributions.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
keep a high stat product one and then build like a weird one if you want to.
After
Because you
watching
want to be.
Worlds, yeah. I think that's just the play in general now.
Yep.
Just have 2
Yep.
of everything.
You just gotta get 600 XLs instead of 300. You know.
Yeah. Easy.
Are we recording, by the way, Shiny? Or
That's a good question.
uh,
I got sidetracked. I am recording locally actually, so we can upload this on our YouTube too.
All right,
oh, okay.
I gotta run, but I'll try to watch on the stream.
All right, cool.
Nice
See ya.
talking.
All right, let's.
Well,
What's
that's
next?
one Pokemon down. We didn't even talk of all the rest of Spark stuff either. I mean,
Are
there's not much
Are there
interesting
any
though.
Spark users?
No,
I
not
think we could.
really. They all have
Yeah,
better
I feel like
moves,
that. Yeah,
except Charge-a-Bug and Probopass.
and then I guess we can also ask chat if there's anyone that wants like us to look at a Spark user. Feel free to drop a comment.
Yep.
I think Magnezone is probably the most meaningful one, right? For Master League.
Yeah, but it's
Uh,
got Volt Switch, so it's fine
yeah,
now.
it has both. Yeah,
You know, actually, I just thought of a Little Cup Chinchou. That's a.
yeah.
We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, because they buffed Ducklet, right? They made
Yep.
Aerial Ace better.
Aerial Ace is gonna be
So,
better, so that's gonna be even better.
hmm
Oh man, that's gonna be
let's
fun.
go through the rest of them then.
Yep. I don't think there's anything left here in Spark, so
Yeah, probably the next. What was the?
So
Was it
that makes
Psychic?
it a pretty
Yeah.
a pretty good and and safe nerf, right? Just nerf the certain Pokemon and not really affect the rest of the non-good Pokemon, right? So.
Right, because at the very least, it slows down Lantern spamminess. So
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
So we got an
Astonish.
Astonish,
Astonish.
yeah, which was probably a meme move and a bunch of irrelevant Pokemon added, but now with Astonish being buffed, probably to a Snarl clone, right, to make it viable.
Potential. So yeah, so let's talk about. So right now it's a 3-turn move that's 5 damage, 9 energy. So it's just terrible, right?
Mm.
And then the other 5 damage fast moves that I saw are Charge Beam, which is 5 damage, 11 energy, and then Snarl and Rollout, like you mentioned, which are 5 damage, 13 energy. So yeah, probably one of those two. I don't see a reason why they would go more than 13. And I guess the only reason to go 12 is if they were worried about it being too strong at 13 or something. But yeah, probably 13, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's the only way to make it viable, right? Not that many good Pokemon learn Astonish besides both
Yeah.
Runerigas and Coffin.
Yep. Here's the full list right here of them. We got Kofa is the big one.
Yeah, but
Dunsparce.
Kofa still prefers Shadow Claw,
Yeah,
right? Along with Runerigas.
that's what's tricky.
Oh, that's another good point too, is Hex, remember, is 612. So some of these Astonish users, they already have Hex. So
Mm-hmm.
if it ends up being 512, just as an example, then you're still just preferring Hex. So
Yeah. I think Dunsparce could be maybe interesting depending on the meta because ghost damage is way more neutral than rock damage, right? So if it's
Hmm.
it's if they're gonna be clones of each other, maybe with Astonish it picks up a couple of wins, especially versus steel types like G-Fisk and Registeel makes it more reliable because now you can actually farm them down maybe.
yeah, both non-stab too. Better
Mm-hmm.
into fighters as well. Which
Yeah,
is like
at
its
least you
biggest
can you
threat.
can farm down a Medicham at least, no, I guess.
Yeah, farm down the no, but yeah, it's a little better, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So here we got Astonish with 13. Astonish with 12 is it's not looking very good for it. It needs
Mm-hmm.
that energy so badly, so badly. That's crazy. I added ones that are even worse than this, but I don't think we want to put them on there. It's a little embarrassing. Astonish 13. That's pretty good, pretty comparable.
And
I'm just gonna
picks
get
up
rid of this
G-Fist,
one.
which is
We
pretty
don't need
cool.
that.
Wait, which is that one?
The other one was Astonish 12, but it was a lot worse. It was just a straight downgrade from
Yeah.
rollout. This is Astonish 13. It beats Cress and Fisk, and you lose Owl, the Mirror, and Shadow A9, which is
I
pretty good
want. Oh
traits.
yeah, because you don't have that rollout extra damage, right? Okay, makes sense.
And the typing.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I think in this case it's mostly typing, because Dunsparce, I mean, you want to do Rock versus Ghost to it. A9's Rock versus super effective versus neutral Ghost,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
Noctowl Rock too. Although these sims are showing Noctowl, but it is not going to be there anymore. It is gone.
Oh, that's
Maybe.
the old Noctowl, not the new one.
This is the new Noctowl. It's
Okay,
just
okay.
that it's such a one-sided matchup that even with the nerf, Noctowl still wins.
Mm. Yeah,
Doing well
but
past
that
this.
G-Fisk win is interesting because now you can reliably swap Dunsparce into G-Fisk and just beat it, right?
Yeah,
So it looks like a pretty clean win.
he loses zeros.
Do
That's a
do we
little
have
scary.
rank ones on both? Or
Nope.
you do
That's
not?
good catch,
That
good
is important.
catch.
I shall put that here.
Oh, okay. Now you
Oh, he
don't beat
loses this.
Jesus apparently.
Interesting.
Okay, interesting.
Oh wow, that's so
Oh,
close.
okay.
1 HP with the rank
Wait,
one.
is
Yeah,
this with the
but to be
earthquake?
honest, I think it's
Or
I think it's slightly better to lose that matchup because you aren't giving farm to like a Medicham, for example. So it could be useful to soft lose the matchup.
is this with the earthquake nerf now or
With the nerf,
without it?
yes.
Okay, so with -10 on earthquake, because that's another change for those that didn't know
hmm
in the
Hmm.
earthquake.
This also is baiting on though. That's a big thing to consider. If you turn baiting off, then Dunsparce
Yeah,
wins.
That's true. Yeah.
It's so risky to go for a rock slide bait. You typically do it as the closing move.
yeah,
Right.
just go for EQs, yeah, for sure. But yeah, probably some new Pokemons to consider is now Among Us, right? Because it had pretty decent stats, but never a
Yeah.
good charge.
I think that's probably the biggest winner potentially. Right? Like most of these other Astonish users that I was looking at, they all have decent, other moves. Like rollout for Dunsparce, Fairy Wind for Mawile, you know, several Shadow Claw users, even the Hex
Yeah.
users. I feel like it mostly would be like maybe a side grade or something, depending
Mm-hmm.
on like how the energy divides into their charge moves. But yeah, Among Us really doesn't have a good move at all, so it could be really interesting
Yeah,
for it.
and something interesting about Among Us, it can also learn Return instead of Sludge Bomb or Grass Knot, so maybe that
Oh,
could be an option in certain metas.
interesting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
But
depending on
yeah, I
meta
guess
for
with
sure.
Sludge Bomb and Grass Knot, they are both decent enough moves to not need Return, maybe.
Yeah, I get that stab too. It's one where it's but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I could
But
definitely
yeah,
see this
it's
being
cool.
played in some metas.
Yeah, it's cool to see that Among Us is such a staple in VGC, right? And now getting some love and Go. It's cool to see.
Mm-hmm. Just give it spore and then add sleep.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Give it
yeah.
sleep powder and make the opponent lag for 1 second. That would be cool. Like it doesn't happen without it.
Yeah, 13 energy would be really interesting.
But
What
yeah,
else we
I
got
think
here?
that's about it for Astonish. Not really
Oh, let's see.
meta breaking, but gives some play to some mons, which is cool.
Clef key
Yeah.
for fun metas.
Oh, apparently Golden Go prefers that over X, which is interesting.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're both 3 turns. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, they're both return. I guess you prefer to be more spammy, right?
Yeah.
Astonish just move faster.
Yeah. What are the differences? Let me pull it up.
I think you spam moves faster, but you do less fast move damage. I reckon.
Slightly, yeah.
Astonish
Yeah.
X.
So 5 and 13 versus 6 and 12. Yeah. With
Yeah, I guess since you are running double nukes, right, you
yeah,
rather get to them faster.
you need those nukes. You're not doing any fast move. Makes sense.
Interesting. Oh, Golurk as well, but apparently still pretty bad. But now it has another options besides Mud Slap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a pretty bad move.
Yeah.
Apparently, Decidueye still prefers Leafage or Magical Leaf.
I overrid a lot of the moves with the new moves that they're getting, just to put them on there
Mm-hmm.
and see how they look compared to other things. It's
Yeah.
also got Leafage and Razor Leaf.
Yeah,
It might
Leafage is
prefer those
slightly
two.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I guess
Yeah.
if Decidueye eventually learns Shadow Ball, it could be more interesting.
It's true. Yeah, I feel like Among Us is probably the biggest winner, which
Mm-hmm.
we looked at, and then Dunsparce might be interesting,
Yeah.
depending on the meta.
Yeah.
I think
Some
Goldango
sticks
is a
about
good
it.
good shout out though for maybe Master League or something. I don't know. That
Yeah,
might be
yeah.
interesting. But yeah, mostly those two. I think Psychic was next.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, it is like
Good old Psychic.
so basically a copium nerf. I don't think it nerfs Medicham that bad. I guess
So what are
it's less reliable versus into Azu, for example, which is pretty cool.
yeah, maybe we could compare those two. Maybe we can look at
Mhm.
or just compare them if you do you have both or do you only have the changed one?
I think I only had the changed one on these,
That's
but I can add
okay.
it real
Like
quick.
okay, yeah, up to you. And we can just because we know some matchups, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah, with
or we can
Psychic,
compare.
if you had a good IV Medicham, you could flip Azu in once.
Yeah.
But now with the damage nerf, I reckon Azu becomes a pretty solid and reliable Medicham counter, which is nice. I mean, you want your fairy types to beat the fighters, right?
Yeah. Can we check that? Can we see? Does it actually? I don't. Do we know that it flips?
Which thing? Sorry, I was typing.
Azu versus Medi with the new psychic.
Good question. We got Medi and we got Azu. Let's
It was the
compare it.
one shield that yeah, one shield Medi could flip it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you needed like maybe one or two counters, but you couldn't really swap safely
Words
into
are
it.
fading off here. No one baits.
Yeah.
Oh, Medi still wins.
You still win. Okay, interesting.
Barely.
How much do you?
CMP tie on the last move.
Hmm.
How much
Yeah,
damage? How much health? And how much damage does Psychic do?
52.
Okay.
Pretty
and
close. That's
this
a
is
rank
more of
one
a
Medi.
shout that Azu probably needs needs bubble rebuffed because this is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Super effective damage, neutral fast
Yeah, it's
move
definitely sad.
versus resisted fast move, neutral charge move.
Yeah. Adib
Yeah.
is calling Pelipper versus Medi matchup.
Let's do it. Oh, that's the wrong side. Medi versus Pelly.
I
Well,
guess now you don't really have
presumably
a
it's.
shot.
We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, you still lose.
Yeah, you don't even win the 0-1s now. I
Yeah.
think you won that before,
This is
so
baiting. Let's try. Oh, if you
just
bait,
straight hurricane.
you win still.
Okay, interesting.
You gotta
So
bait and
another
kill
one
Medi.
that wait, so you win with a bait?
Yeah, and
If
calling colors,
Medi
which is pretty tough
if
though.
Medi wins the ice the psychic, it wins basically.
You'd rather be the
Okay.
Pelly here.
Yeah,
But it's
for sure.
it still wins, basically, is what we're saying. It didn't really
Yeah,
change the matchup.
so
Yeah.
basically Medi wasn't really nerfed,
I
and
think I
now
know a
that
matchup that might change. Check Frostlass. So like Medicham with a 2 counter lead used to be able to beat Frostlass in the one shield, a 1-0 shielded, like basically if it had a shield advantage.
straight psychic.
Well, you gotta land 2 moves, so you need a 2 counter lead.
I gave
Mm-hmm.
it 2 counters here, and you still lose the 1-0s now.
Okay.
Oh
Interesting.
no, the 1-0?
Yeah, right here.
That one? Yeah, yeah. Okay, so you're barely losing that now. So that
Yeah.
is one matchup that changes.
Okay.
Medi versus Lantern. Hmm.
That's a very niche matchup.
Hmm.
2 counter lead, one
Yeah.
no shield advantage.
Yeah.
I,
That's
it would have been
interesting.
nice if it lost the Azu one shield. I think that's a matchup that just
Yeah.
intuitively, like it feels like Azu should win that one.
Yeah, I think the nerf wasn't that big, to be honest. And now,
Yeah.
especially with Axon revealing his Medicham IVs to be a Medislayer type of Medi, and people probably picking up on that, maybe we will see more dynamic punch Medichams. And because dynamic punch Medicham with the IV Slayer, with the Medi Slayer IVs, can beat it with straight Ice Punch, right? So.
That's true. That's an interesting point.
Mm-hmm.
We got another request from Adib. He suggested seeing Lantern.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
This is
I
one, but
reckon.
it is very,
Yeah.
very Medi dominated here.
Yeah, pretty
Oh, this is a
dominant.
good
It
point
was
though, because
before,
both are changing. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a look
Is it
at the new
Spark,
Spark
maybe?
though. See how it looks.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Is it? Okay, interesting. But now, okay, no, because now Lantern is too slow to reach a Thunderbolt plus Surfs, probably.
Yeah. So it only gets the 2 surfs now.
That's cool.
Oh, actually, it does. I don't know why. It's not going for a Thunderbolt here. Although it doesn't matter in the end.
Yeah, you need to land a Thunderbolt
Yeah.
plus Surf
No,
KO
I
with
don't even think
this.
that's enough. 53 versus 38. That's 15 damage. And Medi lives with 31 HP. So
Yeah.
you can chip
Yeah,
it
so
more, but you'll still lose.
the sim logic knows you need the
Yeah,
double surf
I
there.
I reckon though that maybe nerfing it slightly more would have been better, just to force Medi to run dynamic punch and having more walls in the meta. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's decent. I guess they're at least aware that Metachan is too overpowered. Right?
Hmm. I changed it to
Yeah.
baiting off, and now Medi loses the 2s.
Straight surf probably, right?
Let's see. Surf, surf, Thunderbolt. Interesting.
Yeah. That's cool.
All those
Okay.
sparks add up now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Spark is now legit fast move pressure, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Let's pull up the zeros real quick, see how that goes. Lantern barely hangs on.
Hmm.
Barely gets that. If you're the Medi, though, you can choose to flip that.
Yep.
If you're 6-6 sparked, you definitely lose, right? You definitely lose the zeros.
Oh, yeah. Almost for sure.
Do you lose the ones?
I'm sure you'll lose everything with Spark 6. Oh, no, you don't lose the 2s. Okay.
Okay. Oh, right. I was thinking about it the other way. Yeah, I meant you were already losing the ones
Yeah.
with either spark. Okay. Interesting.
Well, that's so
And
close.
yeah, besides Medicham, Psychic doesn't really affect anyone but Slowbro and Mega Slowbro in
Yeah.
Master League.
Just fun cups. My search thing here is trying to look up psychic types. So, let me see. I can go to the moves tab. We can see what we got here. So, psychic. Here are the only things I learned it. So, Alomomola for the Love Cup. That's a staple of it. That's a nerf, and
Mhm.
I'm a little hurt by that. I have the rank 1, so gonna have to learn to cope without it. Or at least just a slightly less good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bronzong,
Has
sometimes.
size shock.
Bronzong has
Yeah.
plenty. Yeah, it has Side Shock. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't run that. Chansey. That's another Chansey nerf.
Love to
Yeah.
see it.
Surely it won't be broken now,
Yeah.
Copium.
After I best buddied my hundo. Yeah, that too.
Mm.
Oh, Copa.
Coffin, but
That's an interesting one.
Coffin still prefers Dark Pulse, I reckon, because
Yeah.
it's
For
cheaper.
speed.
I remember
Yeah.
at one point it felt like you're going 50-50 Psychic or Dark Pulse, but I feel like nowadays almost everyone goes Dark Pulse. Because if you're going to
Yeah.
play it, it's going to be a potential for a mirror match. And you'd rather have Dark Pulse.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, speed.
Florges, interesting for Master
Oh,
League.
yeah, I forgot I'd even
But
learned this.
probably it normally runs Fairy Wind,
Yeah,
Disarming voice.
Rabin Blast, and Disarming Voice. Yeah.
yeah,
So.
better
Yeah.
moves. Especially now.
Oh, Giraffe Rig. That's a sad nerf.
Is it here?
Yeah, and I
Did I
think
miss?
that's
Oh, it's
pretty
right here.
much
Yeah.
it.
Well, let's
Oh,
Hypno.
Jirachi, but Jirachi normally runs Dazzling Gleam,
Yeah.
so it's.
Surprising how many things
Yeah,
run this.
I guess except against fires. If there's fires in the meta, then yeah.
Yeah.
Really nothing here that's useful
The
for it.
Slow Bros.
Umbreon.
Umbreon now
Yeah.
doesn't run Psychic anymore. I
Probably
guess it
not.
already prepared last resort, even though Rubik's Master
Yeah.
and Worlds ran Psychic, so
Yeah. Yep.
though
And
his team
then
was pretty weak to Venusaur, so I reckon he needed the Psychic coverage for
That's a
true,
true
true.
reason why they nerf Psychic for Umbreon.
that.
And Victini has
Mm-hmm.
overheat as an option.
Yeah, and
Uh,
Focus Boost as well.
One of those
yeah,
fun
so
moves. It'll live, hopefully.
yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, I think Olomola or yeah, however you say it, is probably like the second biggest impacted from it,
Yeah.
which is not bad in terms
Especially
of
in
Yeah,
collateral.
it's
especially
what you want
Lucifer.
from a nerf rule.
Yeah, I agree. They could have nerfed Psychic harder though.
A bit more.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is a pretty
But yeah,
Okay.
big one. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna have an old Psychic pulled up. It was what 9055. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna call it Psychic 90. And I just want to see if it actually changes a lot in the Matrix.
Oh, just in like a matrix?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I just
It's
changed it
easy
real
to do.
quick. Yeah, it's easy. I did it right now. You got the Great League meta. Look at the rank 1s. So I got Medi. We'll give it Psychic with 90 damage. Let's make sure these are right IVs. Oh, that was like an AXN IV almost. Default. And let's see what the difference is here. I don't think the IV is saved. What's interesting? Oh yeah, so there is well the mirror, but we can ignore that. That's like the
Wait,
pre-nerf to
did they
new
not
one.
save again?
Hmm?
The IVs, did they not save again?
Oh, why didn't they save?
Maybe just do the drop down.
Like what?
Can you do the drop down?
The import?
The IV drop. No, the IV drop down for the group. Yeah,
Let's try that.
get that.
There we go. Oh, no
Yeah.
difference. Wow, that tickled it.
Yeah. So copium nerf, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Essentially, you're just tickling a little bit less every time. It'll
Yeah.
definitely add up, but I mean, in this case, it doesn't look like much. You mostly go.
Could we try a
Most of the
different
time,
shield
like the move just
scenario?
kills or it doesn't.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's kind of disappointing to be honest.
Yeah, maybe a different shield scenario.
Yeah.
Might as well
Maybe
check some.
zeros. Yeah, maybe zeros is what
Zeros.
makes the
Okay,
most
oh
difference.
Reggie. Oh, hold up. Wait, no,
Yo,
you don't get Reggie in
Reggie.
the zeros. What?
I mean, yeah,
Oh, this is a rank one though. Like, how many people
yeah.
have rank one Reggie?
It depends if the Zap Cannon doesn't debuff. Medicham wins zeros,
I always
but
thought
yeah,
Reggie
if
wins
it
the zeros
doesn't,
flat out.
yeah, it does. That's why people like to say swap the Regis, though, right? Because of that medi matchup.
And you're saying that you win the zeros.
Yeah, you do, you do.
Oh, I guess. Well, rank one does less damage, so. In reality, I think most people are gonna run a spread like the default one here, 6, 11, 13. Oh, you still win as Medi.
Yeah.
So close though. Oh,
Yeah,
it's going for
pretty
50
insane.
bucks.
For sure. Actually surviving that focus blast is IV dependent as well, I think.
Ah,
Depends on your medi IVs.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it hurts Reggie a little bit. Good to know.
Oh,
Keep that
I
in
mean,
mind.
it's getting buffed because things Reggie hard walls are getting buffed, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
reckon hurting Reggie a little bit isn't that bad.
What does Lantern versus Register look like? Let's see.
I mean, with Spark, you used to lose it, but now that Spark does more damage, we'll see.
Yeah, let's find out. Oh, you lose zeros and you win the ones pretty well.
That's with Spark? Yeah, okay. Now you're a reliable Reggie counter even with Spark, which is cool.
Yep. Oh, well,
Yeah.
actually, that's not true. If they switch their Reggie in, they get to this
Mm.
blast.
Oh, that's cool.
So you gotta keep that in
I
mind if
mean,
you switch it.
though you're getting a debuff in the first Zap
True.
Cannon, right?
Yeah, so I guess you do need to get that debuff.
Mm-hmm.
Does that hold true for water gun too, or no?
Water gun's the same as it was before, and I think it's a clean win in the ones. Let's see.
Yeah. You win every even shield with water gun, I
They
think.
have to be 4 block-ons ahead of you to tie you, and
Mm,
then you'll still win
okay.
CMP. So they need 5 lock-ons. So if you're in a water gun, you can bring it in every time. Just shield once, load up on energy, safe switch it out,
Okay.
bring back
Okay.
your lead or something.
So good from lead, maybe not counter switching then, but
Well, in this case, you can
still
counter
not
switch on
bad.
a Reggie, but that's one example. There's so many
Oh, I
more.
mean like this. Right? Yeah.
That's a pretty solid win there.
Yeah, with Spark though, you were saying you
Well, that actually is.
can't
Well,
count
they
it.
didn't go for the Zap Cannon here. Let's change that. Oh, yes, it's about the same. Surf still kills.
Yeah, because fun fact, you actually need 2 Zap Cannons to decrease the water gun damage. With 1 Zap Cannon, it still does the same amount.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
The Sims
So
still
you're
win this.
basically only debuffing charge moves with Zap Cannon.
right.
it's gonna be tough to get a breakpoint off of 2 damage.
Hmm.
Well, there's Medi.
Well,
Still gonna be good. I mean,
Yeah.
what it's looking like is the meta for Medi is gonna be how well does it counter Medi, not how well does Medi adapt, because it's gonna be basically identical.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah, it's really not much any change.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? So what was after Psychic?
Yeah. Well, now we got X
Um,
Scissor.
aerial lanes. No exit.
Okay.
Okay.
65 power
Yeah.
energy increased.
Yeah, so basically it's gonna be a surf clone, right?
Yeah. We looked at it a little bit earlier at the beginning of the stream.
Mm.
Yeah, Surf Clone, most likely. 40, 45.
Yeah.
Or is it 40, 40? 40
Some
energy, 65. Yeah.
pretty interesting mons that get X scissor, right? But thing is, most of them are pretty frail, so unlikely to
Well,
make a big meta shift.
also several of them probably prefer the buffed aerial ace.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But
there's a
So
lot of overlap.
I was thinking of some mons that don't really have that aerial ace, like Scissor, Genesect,
mm-hmm.
Sneasler as well. Oh no, Sneasler actually runs aerial ace, I think.
That's the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Genesect and Caesar for Master League mainly
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
are the main suspects.
Genetic for Master League could be interesting. We can look at that later. I don't have rankings
Yeah.
for Ultra League and Master League, but we can look at individual.
Though I guess you kind of lose the bait move with Genesect, right? Increasing the energy for X Scissor. So you're still pretty dependent on landing the Technoblast, whatever Technoblast you have.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Though now with that buff, I reckon Mega Scissor will be pretty solid in neutral matchups. Because
That's
stab
yeah.
on a Mega.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Yeah, and that's a pretty
that's
big
pretty much it.
it's a pretty big buff too. I mean, because X Scissor, I know we talked about it at the beginning, but it was previously 45-35, which is just really bad. The weather balls are all 55-35, just as a frame of reference. So it getting buffed to 65, and then our best guess here is 40. So Surf Clone, like we talked about at the beginning. Discharge is another option at 65-45, but there's so many in that Surf Icicle Spear archetype. So yeah. But yeah, things like Beedrill and Golisopod, maybe even Sneasler, I feel like they probably maybe consider Aerial Ace over X, even a buffed X Scissor.
Yeah, it's a bit like when Dugong got access to liquidation. The coverage with
Mm,
Drill Run plus Icy Wind was way better, even though liquidation is a pretty
exactly.
good move.
Yeah, that's a great comparison, actually. Yeah. Yep. Because ground flying coverage and fighting flying coverage, those are two excellent coverage combinations in the same way that ice and ground are. So,
Hmm.
yep.
Yeah, though I reckon something like Alucha probably benefits a lot with this aerial ace buff because it didn't really have.
A second,
No,
yeah.
no, it actually learned X Scissor as well. Okay, so it's another one of those cases.
Yeah, I think people ran it with Aerial Ace before the update.
Yeah, just for it to break Metacham Steel Core more reliably, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless the
And
preferred
and
fighter
stab.
was something like Deoxys, for example, I reckon you run Aerial Ace.
Yeah, it's stab. It's also like way better coverage combination in terms of
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon that resist both. Yeah.
Both, yeah.
Yeah, actually, just yeah, I feel like everyone just used it as a bait move before. Like you try to get the
Mm-hmm.
bait
Yeah.
out of it, and they
The
ultimately
fun fact
fail.
is,
But
even going Flying Press in resisted matchups was better for the most part, unless Flying Press was double resisted. So.
Yeah. Should we look at some aerial ace users? I'm hyped to look at the aerial ace
that's
Yeah,
comparisons.
let's
honestly
go for it.
that's a pretty big one. Yeah, that's a move they've never touched ever. It's always been mediocre. We're finally getting a change.
And something
Yeah.
that's interesting is that even though something like Noctowl is being nerfed with the Sky Attack energy increase, Something that does this pretty similar role, like Mandibuzz, is being buffed with this aerial ace energy decrease, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
So I reckon Mandibus can probably just slide right in into that Noctowl spot, because even for something like, for example, Sand Slash, you still resist the Shadow Claw. Lantern that has Water Gun now, you have Snarl for it. You don't have a resisted Wing Attack, so you probably are pretty good into Water Gun Lantern. I
You
reckon
actually,
Mandibus could.
you'd be shocked. You actually beat Water Gun Lantern as
Oh
Mandibuzz.
hell yeah,
No bait.
that's something for sure. Well, the Flying Umbreon is back, baby.
Yep. This thing,
Let's
I think
go.
it's gonna take over Noctowl's role. You may see it pretty low
Yeah.
here and think, oh, it's nothing crazy, but I mean, Noctowl's ranked like 19 right now, and we all know that it's way better than 19, especially in playing
Hmm.
tournaments.
Yeah. And the thing is, Mandibus, before to beat Medicham reliably, you actually needed to run air slash. So to be a core breaker for Lickitung Medi, you need to run air slash Mandibus. But now with Aerial Ace being a Weather Ball clone, probably, right?
Yeah, let's see what we got
Uh,
here. You win the zeros.
Well,
You lose the
yeah.
ones.
So could be punch or weather ball, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Elemental punch or weather ball.
this is with punch. I can pull up the other one.
If it's Weather Ball, I think you just clap it, right?
Oh,
Yeah. Just a reliable Medicham counter, which is cool.
Oh man.
this is Snarl too. Air slash
Even
would be.
even shield
You know,
advantage
yeah,
in the
air
gym.
slash, you just shit on it, right? But
They gotta have two shields to even fight back.
yeah, the thing is, air slash Mandibuzz is way more RPS, right? You prefer Snarl, I
Yeah.
reckon. Now that
Although,
you have two decent charge moves as well, so
yeah.
That's
Although
the
if this
thing,
is
right? You
coming,
don't need that as much. Yeah.
mhm.
hmm I can see air
It's
slash
pretty
being
common
played.
in Ultra League though, air slash. So
All depends on how common darks are. What things do you
So
want to hit?
I
Neutral.
think I think depending on how good carbink or how common carbink is, I could see like even aerial ace shadow ball. I don't think that's crazy.
Let's take a
yeah,
look.
Aerial ace
It's
shadow
out
ball
of
mandibuzz.
punch.
Shadow Ball is not as spammy, but is better coverage than Fall Play, I reckon.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it'll be the meta set necessarily, but I think it definitely could be viable and interesting, especially if carbink. It all depend really on carbink's the one thing that really kind of you'd want to consider that for.
Yeah, something funny about the Lantern nerf is that before you actually wanted to run an attack weighted carving to have a breakpoint on Rock Throw to be able to beat Spark Lantern, but now that Spark has been changed, I reckon people will probably shift into the bulky carving just to,
True.
yeah, just to be better in neutrals matchups.
So you can see here, I added Carbink to the end of this list because it's not in the previous one. It does do a little more. A little bit more.
Yeah, you still just zero shield
Yeah.
farm down probably, right?
It does 24 damage.
Yeah.
Oh my! Look how little that does. Oh
Yeah,
man.
carving is insane, dude.
Yeah.
It's
But
too
it's gonna be
strong.
there though, and if like, let's say you chip it down with your like 10
Can you
HP Swampert, and then you come in with
can you
this,
do
right?
something?
You need Shadow Ball maybe.
Could you just remove charge moves from carving to see if it can just rock throw
Farm
down the
down.
Weavers?
Probably.
I
I,
doubt it with shadow ball,
you
right?
don't win
Yeah,
anyway.
Oh man, that's
Just
nasty.
rocks you down.
yeah,
Oh jeez.
You can take 3 Shadow Balls and it's still in the yellow.
yeah. That's insane.
I mean, it could take 4, right? Because it wins the zeros like
Yeah.
that too.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, go back to the Matrix sim. I feel
Yeah.
like is the Shadow Ball actually even have a better record?
Doesn't seem like it.
Pretty identical. In this, well, actually, it does say though in the ones you pick up Medi. That's not insignificant.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
have a super effective nuke, I guess.
This is with the
And
40.
that's
So this
the
is with
aerial
punch.
ace with yeah, that's the
Yeah.
punch aerial ace. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's really, really close with foul play aerial ace. Just going straight aerial ace. Let's see. So Medi can take 2 of them. Barely hangs on. So Shadow Ball does a little bit more that you need.
Yeah.
You do lose a slash. Presumably,
Oh,
you get
that's
to less of them.
interesting. Right. And then it picked up, I think, one in the other even in the 35 version. What is it picking up there?
It picks up a lot of stuff here. Well, you get Medi
A
every
slash.
time. That's a big one. Yeah, that's non-shadow. You still lose the shadow with Shadow Ball.
Right.
What else is interesting? You get
That's a
Umbreon.
pretty relevant matchup, to be honest.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All
Yeah, so
the
Shadow
fun
Ace
metas, like Mandy versus Umbreon, has historically been really tedious and common, but now it looks like Mandy is the clear winner.
Yeah, before Umbreon was a reliable Mandibus counter because Last Resort was so much better than Aerial Ace.
Yeah.
Now I reckon you can beat it. But yeah, I like this Mandibus buff. I think it was about time it was back in the meta.
Mm-hmm. Now we just need to get some wild spawns of it.
That's true.
They've never spawned it before. I don't have a
Uh,
really good one. I got a decent one from Incense once.
What's
yeah. Speaking of bulky Pokemon, maybe let's look at Gligar, Superior, Jumpluff, and Tropius. Like some of the Aerial Ace users that are
There's so many.
pretty
I mean,
bulky.
Mantine too. Like the thing
Even
is,
Mantine,
it's
yeah.
all
Oh.
these things are gonna be way better with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, now Mantine doesn't really need to run Bubble Beam, right?
Yeah,
So maybe it's less of a degen mon.
I did some initial sims with it, and Bubble Beam, it actually is very viable. You can do Bubble Beam
Yeah,
Aerial
it is.
Ace, but Ice Beam gives you that coverage that a lot of people are going to want to value, especially if Gligar's good.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
if this ends up being like a double flyer meta, which I definitely can see being a thing, right? With Gligar being like your more anti-steel, anti-electric, you're
and
you
then
know,
Farvin. Yeah.
yeah, flyer, and then you run another flyer. Because if these actually end up being really strong, yeah, Mantine, it's kind of like the flyer that beats other flyers, right? That's kind of its niche. So it
Yeah,
could
and
be.
it breaks
Yeah.
Fighter and Flyer Core, which is gonna
Mm-hmm.
be common with Metachan.
Exactly.
Very good pick in
Yeah,
the Flying Cup.
the only problem is going to be Reggie and Lantern, obviously,
Exactly.
but
I mean, there were problems before, so people were successful with Mantine. Both Rocken and
mm-hmm.
Emilio qualified to Worlds using Mantine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you're just gonna try to play around those, but definitely a really good
hmm
buff for it.
You can see here we got oh, this is just the little differences. With Ice Beam, you get all these flying stuff.
yeah. So I guess it's not. I mean, that's the aerial is punch version, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
Okay,
didn't do the right
so
IDs. Let's do that real quick. Very impressive win rate though with this one. This one still was
yeah.
very, very a good average. 526 is no joke. It's ranked
And
really high in
550.
my rankings, just because of that.
And without Bubble Beam, which usually is a Sim Hero type of move, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
just reliably doing damage and winning matchups, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Well, the wing attack aerial ace combo is crazy. It's like 5 and 4. So spammy.
hmm
It's really good energy for it.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's look at the zeros here. It's probably gonna have a good zeros. Oh no. Worse than I thought. That's interesting. But you beat Medi really good now. That's a big win for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You beat Mandy
Yeah.
too. Still, this is the big oof here. It's lantern is you don't want to see it, even with water gun. It just hurts. So it's really good in everything neutral, but then you just got these little tough ones here, right? And Carbing's
Yeah,
not listed here
though.
either. So it's
Yeah.
gonna have a little weakness there,
Mm-hmm.
but very respectable. Oh, and a Swampert wall too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Though I reckon Swampert now will probably run Sludge Wave, right?
Oh, good point. Good point. Let's see that.
Yeah.
A lot more sludge than before. Well, you still win as Mantine.
Yeah.
Mudshot does nothing. Sludge does half.
50%. Okay.
It's respectable.
Mm-hmm.
You win the 1-0s. This is gonna be a big player, though. I think
Yeah.
we're gonna see a lot more than we did before. Some people even ran it in previous tournaments. It's so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
got
I
a big stat
reckon.
product. Things with big stat
Yeah.
products with a buff are always good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mantine Gligar core is looking pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Let's look at Gligar now. It's getting a double buff.
Yeah.
Also, there's a Shadow Gligar too.
Yeah, though from what I've seen, I think Shadow Gligar drops Medicham, Swampert, and Carbink, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe regular is the play just for those very common meta matchups.
Ah, this is gonna be a tricky one. There's so many. I added a lot of
Yeah,
dig
some
combinations. I
really
don't know which
number.
dig it's gonna be. There's so many. Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
goes from
So
bulldoze to drill run. Because
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing is, they change it so much, and it's such a high move. Like,
Yeah. So let's talk about that real quick. So Dig previously was 100 power and 80 energy, which was just unusable. Worst move in the game. Like, and so now what we do know from the update is that it's 80 power now, so 80 damage, and we know the energy's decreased, but we don't know to what degree. So it's definitely less than 80. Um, Bulldoze is a ground move that's 80-60. Drill Run is a ground move that's 80-45. You'd assume that it's probably somewhere in between there. It like why make another like Bulldoze clone? That's the same type, right? So probably 50 or 55 would be the guess there.
that's a good guess.
There actually isn't. I don't believe anything that's 80-55 without like some sort of additional effect or something. If I remember correctly. And then 80-50 has a number of moves like Sludge Bomb, Dark Pulse, Synchronoise, yeah. And so
Yeah, no
yeah,
80-55s.
if they want to stick with like archetypes, then they probably go 80-50. If they're just thinking about another thing that's interesting is there's no move that's 85-55 either from what I saw, right? That doesn't have an effect.
Psychic will
Yeah,
be.
psychic will be the only 85-55 actually after the nerf, but so I don't know. It also makes it, to me, that makes it less likely that it's going to be 80-55, right? If like most things tend to start at 90, if they want them to be viable with 55 energy. So probably 50 based off all that. But again, we're just guessing here.
Let's put them both. I'll do that.
They do like to generally stick to like previous move archetypes, you know? It's another reason why we described other moves like even Spark as like either a Feint Attack clone or a Bullet Punch clone. But you know, occasionally we'll get a unique move. Triple Axle is a unique move that they recently added, right?
Yeah.
So
How are we feeling on Shadow versus non-Shadow Gligar? Let's find out. Okay, what we got here? Well, in the ones, Shadow Gligar, not too shabby. You pick up Lantern with Spark.
Hmm.
You pick up Swampert. Wow, that's pretty impressive. So Shadow
As a
Gligar
shadow?
beats Swampert. Regular Swampert. Shadow.
And
I'm gonna guess a Shadow Hydro Cannon does enough. Yeah. Another reason to
yeah, I
use regular
reckon
Swampert.
people. And now
Yeah.
with Noctowl being nerfed, maybe regular Swampert returns to the meta. Because before you ran the Shadow, though it was pretty good neutrally, you kind of needed the Shadow bonus to beat Noctowl with two Hydros, right?
Yeah.
But now that Noctowl is gone, maybe people will run regular. Who knows?
Yeah. That
People,
Noctowl matchup was a
people
big
were
one.
already running regular because of the Charizard matchup.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, right? We saw that just barely right at the end of the season. People started giving another second look to regular Swampert because of the two shield Shadow Charizard matchup. So
Hmm.
Hey, it went
it
full
is
circle.
definitely an interesting decision. Yeah.
I remember initially everyone was running regular Swampert. No one ever wanted to run Shadow. And then as Noctowl was so good, everyone ran Shadow. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
Licky Tongue was another one, right? Where it can two-shot with the Hydro Cannon as Shadow. Yeah.
Yeah. So much to digest. Wow. What do we got? So let's look at
So
the
these are
Zoodle.
all, so this is 40, 55, and 40, 50. That's the comparison right now.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I could. Let's see.
So,
No, this
question
is good.
is this Gligar always beating Maddie, regardless if it's Shadow or not?
I bet. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Consistent
Though
mid runner.
you beat it more reliably if you're a regular. Apparently, you just survive the Ice Punch better.
The ones look like a tie there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, for Shadow. Single
Mm-hmm.
KO. Wow.
Oh man. Okay. And that's with Aerial Ace being a punch. Okay.
So wing attack
Although
is
that
6.
shouldn't matter, right? It's not going to get to another. It's not going to get to another air lace if it's even
Yeah,
35.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
close to another move either way.
I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier, Jocks. Like it's just Shadow's less reliable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit like the Gliscor matchup when it got the wing attack buff, right? Though
Mhm.
actually Shadow Gliscor was better because you could beat Medicham straight Earthquake, if I recall correctly. So I don't know. Maybe regular Gligar is the way then.
They both seem pretty neutral in terms of matchups. I mean,
Yeah.
running down this list, it's pretty much the same stuff.
Funny enough, I have a good IV Shadow Gligar, but not
Ooh.
a regular. So
Opposite
Oh,
for me. I ran a purified one once. It was like rank over 1,000. It was horrible.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I have as well. I ran in one of the last Sylph Cups, the one with fairy types and stuff.
Yeah. I caught a rank
Fairies,
50 regular
Buzzwoles.
one. That's not
Yeah.
Shadow. So
Oh,
now I finally
so-
have a chance to use it.
yeah, that's cool.
Super
I
comparable.
should we
like
This
look
that
is
at?
crazy.
Gligar is getting some love.
Yeah, this is definitely a big one though. I mean, we don't know Aerial Ace or Dig, so could be good.
Yeah, is this one shield or is this zeros?
This is the ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and even in the best case scenario, you're barely over 500, so probably just a pretty good generalist, but not really OP, which is cool.
Can we look at Weather Ball?
Sure.
Realize?
I can change them real quick.
Just curious. How busted can it be? I mean, obviously, Gligar, you know, can have issues if it runs into ice types, but this could be a really interesting, like, safe Pokemon in the meta because of the how good the flying ground coverage is, and like we were talking about earlier, the only thing that resists the flying ground coverage pretty much are things like fire flyers, electric flyers, and steel flyers. So like, there's not really like a Zapdos, a Skarmory, a Molga, or I guess Charizards, like or sorry,
No, not
uh,
really. Aerial Ace.
Charizard, yeah, Aerial Ace is fine, not fire flyers then. Yeah, so really just Zapdos, Emolga, and Skarmory.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so safe, right? Like
Yeah, I
if
mean, look at
you
this.
if you
This is
don't
the good move. This is pretty good. You cover
and if
everything.
there if the meta ice type is Alolan Sandslash, then you still have good coverage into that, right? So yeah,
Yeah, look, you win the
it's
1-0s and the 2-1s. Or 2-0s. Or that's 2-1s. Dig. Wow, dig one shots with the shadow.
it could be a really interesting save. We've had some of the same save switches for like the longest time, right?
Yeah.
So
I was looking at Greedent too earlier. I think that could be a fun save switch. We'll see when we get there.
interesting.
Or Steelix. All depends on the meta, of course. But yeah,
Yeah,
these
exactly.
I point of the story is I think the save switch is going to be different. We've had Lickitung, we've had Sableye a lot.
That's the point.
Um, but Carping
Yeah.
kind of ruined Sableye. You can't safe it anymore. I mean, Noctowl was pretty tough for it too, for Lickitung as well. I feel like last minute it was pretty tough to safe switch, to be honest. I guess Medi,
Mm-hmm.
because Medi was just so good. But if they had a Sableye on their
I
team,
mean, Lantern was pretty safe into most teams, Registeel as well.
Yeah.
Because Shadow Flag was added pretty late into the season,
Mm-hmm.
and it was pretty much the only reliable counter to both of those.
Yeah. And as Sableye went down, I feel like Medi safe switch got a little stronger too, right?
Mm-hmm.
pretty
But
nice.
yeah,
Wow.
potential, yeah, depending on what the meta ice type is and things like that.
Yeah.
You could see Gligar being a really fun safe Pokemon, potentially.
Wow. Aerial, man, we haven't
But
even covered all the things here. Wow. What do we got?
yeah.
Superior, Pluff.
Yo, I think Superior might be legit with the lack of flyers, to be honest. Or if the
I
flyers
think
take neutral damage from Frenzy Plant.
yeah, I'd like to
Superior
look
is
at
pretty good.
Superior.
Sure.
But and here's the thing, because we don't have a meta grass type right now. You know what I mean? Like what like that's the very difficult thing. And so, some teams almost end up even a little soft to grass, just assuming it's not gonna get brought potentially. I know we might be in a flyer meta, but if the flyers are Mantine and Gligar, then
Mm-hmm.
Superior's, still hitting neutral into those. Yeah, I think it's got potential. I'm not saying it's going to be meta, but it could be interesting.
What do you pick up? You get Medi now.
Though Superior is gonna get walled by the main grass type, which is A slash, right? So.
Not really. Frenzy Plant hurts.
Oh shit.
See? I mean, I would call this not too bad for a thing that resists it.
Yeah,
You
for
get it
sure,
in the
for sure.
red with one Frenzy Plant and the Vine Whip.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
and,
pretty cool.
and you win the 1-0 too, right? From
Yeah.
what I saw. Yeah.
So you just burn their shields and get a little of an energy lead, and all of a sudden it's in your favor. Superior is
That's
really bulky. Well, I guess it's not really bulky, but that's pretty good. It's a little
mm-hmm.
average. Nothing crazy, but
Yeah.
it can take an Ice Punch easily. 50%.
Yeah.
And those Shadow Claws aren't going to kill it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it will, but it takes a while. It takes that many.
To be honest, it feels bulkier than what those stat product says.
I know, right? It feels like every time you play against it, it's like, man, that thing is that much health?
Yeah.
Must be a meta thing. Now, this is unfortunate. Mandibuzz. But,
Yeah.
you can't win them all, right? Like, Carbink's
For
rank
sure.
1 right now, and it gets hard countered by Stunfisk, Registeel, Swampert, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Though something that you mentioned regarding the Medi save swap, I consider that very interesting because before 2 metas ago, when we had Noctowl, Trevenant, and Lantern, people like to save swap a water type to bring out the Trevenant and then farm down with the Noctowl, right? I
Hmm.
reckon people right now could do some sort of strategy like farming down with safe swapping the Metachamp to bring out the Sableye, and then farming it down with Carbink with teams that are pretty soft to it, like for example A slash teams as the steal, and
Hmm.
getting a bunch of energy on Carbink to then do some chip damage. So I think
Hmm.
something like that could be interesting.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, it'll be really interesting to see where the meta goes as well, like you mentioned. Like towards the end of last season, we did see some teams that had like that Alolan Sand Slash in the steal spot. I mean, it's Accent like won with that, right? No steal
Mhm.
other than Shadow Alolan Sand Slash. So and Wadaj too actually also had just that as his steal. So
Yeah,
um
and their only carbon cancer was
mhm.
Swampert in the case of Accent. So.
Yeah, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that shapes up. With the earthquake nerf, G-Fisk maybe takes a slight hit, and then how much does that help Registeel? Also, got to keep in mind too, Carbink wasn't even allowed at the end of last season. So do people out of fear of Carbink, like sort of lock in the Registeel now,
Mm.
and don't try to sort of get away with Alolan Sandslash as their only steel type. It'll be really interesting to see how all those team decisions play out, though.
Maybe this is a hot take, but I think people would prefer running A slash over Registal because I think Registal is a super finesse mon. It's a hard mon
Hmm.
to use. You need a lot of knowledge of charge move damage. And A slash is just more basic. You have fast move damage, you have spammy charge moves. It's pretty easy to run per se. So I'm not sure if A slash won't be preferred still.
Yeah, and I think there's a chance that um I don't know. There was a brief period where like we saw I mean Metachamp's not going anywhere. Like Metachamp's still really good. I do think the Flyers potentially in this meta are better than the one in the previous meta, which isn't saying much because Metachamp was 85% usage at Worlds. But
Yep.
you had Altaria and Noctowl, which very much had lose conditions against Metacham, and now you have like maybe a very bulky, threatening Mandibuzz and Mantine maybe, and then even Gligar looks decent because it's spammier than Altaria, right? Even though it's double super effective, or taking double super effective from those ice punches. So I don't know. I think there's a chance that yeah, like maybe we do see, some more Mud Boys either in the Medi role or just as additional carbink answers. I think
Hmm.
that's definitely going to be something we see. Quagsire is another one that like I'd be interested to look at like matchups maybe even against Gligar or something because I don't know those. I
I
think
mean,
Quagsire
he'd
might.
probably tank even two Stone Edges, I reckon, as
You think
Gligar.
so?
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's
I'll have to go back
non-stab.
and check
Mag is
that.
pretty bulky as well.
Maybe Shadow?
Yeah, maybe Shadow on Shadow will be closer, but
I'm
you
curious
always
whether
need to hit two charge moves.
yeah, I'm curious whether Swampert or Quagsire will be the preferred Mud Boy in the next version of the meta.
Let's see what my
Um,
rankings say. I'm curious, actually. Where's Quag? Oh,
Swampert 10, Flag 21.
lower than I
Okay.
thought it would be.
okay.
These rankings are very finicky, though. You can mess around with them a lot and give weights to certain things.
Yeah.
Um,
Cresselia, pretty high up.
um,
Interesting.
it's very interesting.
Does
That
it
makes
even beat Carving?
it
Good question.
it makes sense. This meta is a meta where like, gosh, you wish you could run a grass type, Like so it makes sense that something that's bulky pseudo grass might do well.
Pretty good against Carbank.
Okay, that's cool. So there you go with your reliable carving Metachamp core breaker,
Yeah.
Corsalia.
It's so weird too, because like you'd think Sableye would probably be better here. Not really any counters here with Noctowl on. I mean, you got Mandy down here.
Yeah.
But you can return it.
I mean, the thing is,
Still pretty good.
yeah, I like Kazu in this meta, but returning to Sableye, most of the things you're saying it beats are pretty bulky, so the matchup is not that bad for even though they don't resist Shadow Claw nor foul play.
Yeah.
So
Question from Easily: does Shadow Scissor have a place of beating Carbink? In Halloween Cup probably. It's I put it with Trailblaze here. Spoiler: it gets Trailblaze, which is kind of cool. It'll probably struggle. Oh wow, Carving's so bulky. That's what's tricky about it, right? Like it actually loses the zeros to Carbink, which is pretty wild.
I mean, you just get Rock Slide,
Yeah.
Rock Slide, I guess.
But in Halloween Cup, I bet Shadow Scissor could be a good counter to Carbink. It's like 1,000 stat product difference.
Wow.
Just absolutely insane. Carbink's defense is out of this world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still debating if I build a best buddy one or just a regular.
I got a pretty good best buddy one. It's really low defense, but it's a really high rank because it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. I have one that's like I have the 3-14-15, so it's a direct downgrade to the 3-15-15, but I don't know, like you're saying, defense doesn't really matter on it that much, so I'm still debating if I build it or not.
That's a good one. It might take you a while to get a better one. We'll
Yeah,
see.
that's true.
They're spawning for PvP and eggs next season.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I'm really just missing like 20 XLs, so until I have the XLs, I'll keep stealing them from people who don't need them.
Keep walking.
Um,
Well, that was Superior.
Could we
We're
maybe-
totally devolved out of Superior. This is fun though. So much stuff is changing. It's like
can we
Yo,
maybe check?
something interesting is
Like-
ASCAF on that
Yeah,
list.
I was gonna say SCAV. Can we also like look at it versus the old moveset even just to see what all it's picking up with like the new change?
Sure.
Because it has that interesting flying and ground coverage, right?
It does.
Yeah, and counter, the most broken
and
passive in
counter,
the
yeah.
game.
We'll add it with both aerial aces and Megahorn.
And with Drill Run Megahorn.
Is it Drill Run Megahorn? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Just that one. I wonder. Also, Shadow in the future could be interesting because it's a pretty squishy mon. It could benefit from.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's not too shabby.
Oh, okay.
500 average with 40 energy and 35s. Really impressive. Pick up Swampert.
Because of the lack of fire types, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really have stuff that does super effective damage on
Yeah,
it.
what we got fire? We got Talonflame. I haven't
We
seen
have
those.
we have the new K9 with the ground move.
The
That's
question
true.
is that going to be relevant though? Because if it's not, I think I looked at it earlier and it wasn't amazing. We'll see.
Yeah, it's just
People wanna
alt
run it.
clone. It's decent, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Still a
Depends on what
water
you
meta,
play
right?
against, right? Like Talonflame, for me, at high elos, you'll never play a Talonflame ever. But if you're at like 2,000 elo, say, maybe you'll play a bunch of them there. Let's look at the zeros here. The original moveset's way better for the zeros.
That makes sense.
yo,
Megahorn's a
look
good
at
move.
those
Yeah.
ones. Elias, Sableye.
But look,
Yeah.
you beat Medi.
Oh yeah,
Oh, but that's with the punch
35
version.
aerial. Yeah,
Yeah, weather
that'd be a
ball
nice
version.
win. Not many con users can beat
Literally.
Medi.
Mm-hmm.
Do you beat
That's
it in
cool.
the? Let's see. No, you don't beat it in the ones though. Either way. that you just get punched
Okay.
down. S-Cap's really, really low in stat product.
Right, yeah.
In the 2s, oh, not too bad. So buffs aerial ace. What's interesting is you only get 1 win for it, but if you look at the average, it's way higher.
Yeah.
You're getting an extra aerial ace on a lot of things.
Yeah, you're KOing things a lot quicker.
Yeah.
It seems like it's able to
Very
avoid
little knockout
taking
ability.
like critical extra damage.
You beat Lantern now. Well, I guess you already did. That's Spark. Water Gun you just lose. This is the 2s as well. This is an interesting one.
Yeah, could be interesting.
Good in
Uh,
Fun Cups, I bet.
I mean, is this a hot take? But maybe this might be the second highest usage counter user in the next meta.
I mean, what are the
No, I'm
options?
not.
Like, what options are
I
there
know, no, no.
besides, like,
Exactly, right?
there's really not much. Polyrath is,
Yeah.
I haven't played
I
against.
think Poliwrath and Toxic Rogue are still better, but
Oh, that's
Toxic Rogue's
fair.
really low. Actually, we can see him on top, too. I had
Yeah.
it sim
yeah,
higher
with the
before.
ice move.
Polyrath's a
DD,
good one, actually.
and DD, it loses the Gligar.
I mean, you're
Bad.
buffing a bunch of bug types, right?
I
I'm not
think
sure if DD
I
is
think
the play.
DD's actually goes well Mandibuzz, right? Like I think DD's actually taking a hit here with
Yeah.
these changes.
Yeah,
If
you
takes
also
over the
take
knockout
neutral
role,
damage from the rock throw from carving.
Mm-hmm. Gligar's really awkward.
super awkward. You basically gotta Psycho Boost and dip.
The
And it's
something I
so
think
bulky, you gotta do that a
they
lot.
missed the ball on is giving brutal swing to the Oxes. I think it would make it such a good neutral pick. Now that
Ooh.
Sableye is nerfed even, it would make it such a good save swap.
Hey Bernardo.
Because you could actually do reliable neutral damage versus everything.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
I made this PV poke myself. I copied it from PV Poke's source code and edited it. Edited it. It's fun to say.
Is a hacker man, chat. Is a hacker man.
Yeah, and thanks again to Matt for making all this open source, publicly available, so like people can do this type of thing. It's
Exactly.
really cool. Yeah.
It could be good.
Any other aerial ace users?
Yeah.
Can we look at how Lucha is
Where's it at?
possible?
There. Anything else? Tropius is an interesting one, but I don't know. It's just like ice. But I guess the same for Gligar too.
Yeah, maybe Razor Leaf, honestly. Razor Leaf still just feels like the better.
Razor Leaf, like even a
Maybe
high
not
debuff
enough.
aerial ace is
Maybe
still
not
pretty
in this.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Razor Leaf, it just get walled.
Yeah.
Although,
Yeah, more likely.
some of the things are going away.
Yeah.
Altaria's gone. You don't see Talonflame. Skarmory's gone. Noctowl's gone. Mandibuzz is a little better. Registeel, though, is a loss. That's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's got play. Yeah, water's common. Its overall win rate with Razor Leaf isn't the greatest.
I feel like people are gonna, if they consider a grass flyer at all, they're gonna look at like Shadow Jumpluff.
Yeah.
I feel like
Shadow Jumpluff's a lot higher. Superior's a good grass type too now, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, enough distractions. Let's look at Hawlucha.
Yeah.
The famous regional that originally had a really good moveset, and then they nerfed it right before it came out, just to make sure.
I mean, aren't we glad it doesn't have Sky Attack now?
Yeah.
I think.
Well, they would have nerfed it anyway, so.
Yeah. Though it also had Wing Attack previously, so.
Yeah, that's true.
So we got obviously you can't get rid of flying press. X scissors a maybe, probably not. It's not
No.
amazing. You'll
Fighting
probably
flying
get
is
It
carried.
kind of depends. Imagine, for example, that Cresselia is a meta staple. I reckon maybe X's or could have some play.
Yeah. So it's got a decent one right here.
Yeah. Doesn't really pick up anything extra because most matchups you're going flying press anyway.
Let's see if you're up energy. Because this thing's really squishy.
Yeah, that's true.
Where's energy at? Am I blind?
Maybe you can't edit
I
it.
guess I can't do it in this mode. Must be only in multi.
things that resist flying fighting coverage. Zapdos, HU,
A little better.
Emolga, Dedenne,
Oh,
Goldango.
one poison jab brings it to over 50%. That's cool.
Wait, is this 35 or 40? Okay, this is
This is
40.
40 with the little energy.
I don't know. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, oh wow. That's with the little energy boost.
Oh
With 2.
man.
With 35.
Yeah.
Probably baiting though. A little bit of baiting, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Not bad.
guess so. How much energy
What
is
about
flying press? 45?
even energy? What about 35 with
That's
even
2.
energy?
Let's do 1. But that's 1 up. So here's 1 energy, 1 poison jab up versus 2. Really big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So probably among like Charizard, you get those 2 wing attacks farming a residual and just go to town.
Yeah.
But wait, this is one with 35? One at 35?
Yeah. With 0 at 35,
Okay.
it's not great. So this yeah,
Yeah.
it'll end up being a Charizard mon or not relevant.
Yeah. Well, that could be interesting.
Yeah. You lose to Mandy. You lose to Reggie. Lose to Lantern. Water Gun Lantern. Medi. Oh wow, you lose to Medi? Wow. And the ones? That's a little rough. Yeah, so you need the energy on this thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's not too bad though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll read it again, but like this is the list of Pokemon that like resist fighting flying coverage. Echu, Zapdos, Emolga, Dedenne.
Very
That's
little.
pretty much it.
Wow.
Yeah, Goldango and Edgy whenever it comes, and then you got like Tapu Koko and Coco and like other stuff. But yeah, that's a pretty short list. Thunderous, yeah,
Kind of
Because imagine you
actually
get
kind
a
of
couple of
looks
poison
good.
jabs extra, you can get a shield off an A slash counter swap, for example, which is pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just
Poison
makes it
Jab
a
is
more reliable
tricky to
safe swap.
Poison Jab is tricky to set up for a farm down though, because it's
Mm.
not necessarily like some types resist it, like triple double or triple resist it. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it can be tricky, but man, that it could be really interesting if you can set it up with energy.
Yeah, something that's interesting to see is also Beedrill and Golisopod because they have Golisopod as the
Mm-hmm.
resistances right breaking Metacham plus A slash core, which is probably going to be pretty common. And Beedrill kind of has like a pretty perfect coverage, right? With Jab, Aerial Ace, and Draw Run. Not many things resisting that combo.
Well, X's or Aerial Ace is not a good combo. What do most people run it with right now? X's or Liquidation?
Yeah, Liquidation, yeah.
It'll be good in some fun cups here.
I guess it's pretty bad still. Okay.
Yeah, it's got some tough
Its
walls to
niche
overcome.
is probably just really beating Metacham A slash.
Oh, you lose
Right.
the Medi
You lose to Medi? Oh wow.
in the ones.
Oh man. Okay.
Nerf
Wow,
Psychic.
that's surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nerf Psychic. Jeez, come on.
We need a Nerf Psychic again.
Yeah, maybe they should have nerfed it right one like at the first time, right? Just not do a copium nerf.
Mm-hmm. Plus energy
Hmm.
or minus 10 damage, not minus 5.
Well, it's also like there's so little collateral. Like,
Yeah,
like I
they
feel
could
like,
have really went deep into that and just realized that that nerf wasn't enough.
yeah, I think you can actually hit Psychic pretty hard and be okay because there's minimal collateral, and Metacham honestly needs to get hit really hard. It's insanely strong.
Yeah.
Like it'll still be viable. It's like, it's not going anywhere even if you nerf it hard because it's still gonna have counter.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
What about Beedrill?
Yeah, what
B
about it?
drill.
Shadow Beedrill. Where's regular at? All the way down there.
I'm curious about the 40-35 because I think 40 is gonna really hurt it.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter
it's not
whether
looking
it's
good.
aerial ace or yeah.
Um,
It's,
X's or drill run's not looking good.
I reckon with 35 energy aerial ace, it could be pretty decent.
Yeah, I'd
yeah,
say
that's what I
40.
think.
And it's about the same as it is now.
Yep.
But
Yep.
it's so nice having that bait with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's better. It's not a great win
That's
rate, but
pretty
it's
good.
got a better average for sure. 500's respectable. Very respectable.
Yeah, look at how close it's really pushing those losses towards the middle there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and its main counters, which are steel types and rock types, besides the flyers, you have something to hit them back with, which makes
Hmm.
Beedrill pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's look at our shield scenarios. Okay, the twos is where it really shines. Makes sense. I mean, you obviously
What
got
about,
some things like, Stunfisk, Bastiodon, the Wallet, Mandibuzz.
Yeah.
maybe another energy mon like Kalucha?
Yeah. Because, I mean, you can hit these things back, right? Like, that's what's great about flying
Hmm.
ground is, like, its hardest counters are weak to ground, typically. Like, all the flying stuff, right? So, having ground to counter it, like, you lead B-Drill, you switch out something, and then you farm it down with B-Drill, and hit 2 drill runs on a Bastiodon, and look here. It does 60% to it, right? So, I doubt. I mean, I guess Mandibuzz would be the one worst case scenario. But with a little energy and finessing, you could probably get it. I don't see anything here that screams like this is horrible, except for Skarmory. But this list has Skarmory on it, although it should be gone after this update. I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, you get Lantern when Spark or Water Gun Lantern. You get Licky, Azu, Medi. Not bad. Some of these losses hurt, we'll admit. But
Yeah.
you could maybe make it work.
Kind of depends on how the rest of the team covers flyers, I guess.
Yeah.
Mainly.
Hey, now down here we got all the fun stuff.
Yeah, but nothing really
Yeah.
relevant. Oh,
Billion
apparently
Billions, Butters.
Ursaluna runs aerial ace? Okay.
Where's it at? Yeah,
A bit more down, yeah.
it
Ursaluna.
sure does.
Very good.
That could be a fun Master League option
Yeah, interesting actually.
instead of running the punches.
Yeah, I guess it's another punch. It's a flying punch.
Yeah. Just rename it that. Well, that's a lot of things. Rayquaza's here.
Yeah,
I'd
I
put it
think
to my aerial ace over
Rayquaza in
Dragon Scent.
Master League, I wonder if aerial ace is preferred now over a Dragon Scent.
Yeah, I don't know.
With the 35 energy aerial ace? I
Yeah,
wonder.
that would make sense. 40 would
Mm-hmm.
be close. Because, like, the nuke's nice, but it's a nuke, and it's not the
Yeah.
fastest thing in the world. It's a heavy damage, low energy move, so
You need what, like 8 Dragon Tails or 7 Dragon Tails to
Yeah.
reach Dragon Ascent, so
having 2 aerial aces guaranteed versus 1 ascent that can
Yeah.
get shielded, and you do nothing.
yeah. I reckon I might TM off Dragon Ascent from my request.
man.
Oh man, the Dragon Ascent TM off and the acrobatics on your Shadow Jump Bluff.
Yeah,
Those are gonna feel bad.
Pluff's another one that
Yeah.
could benefit from this. We didn't even look at it. It's
Jump.
got that ice weakness.
Mm-hmm.
What's worse about this compared to, say, like Gligar, where it's double weak to ice, is you can't hit it back. So
Mm-hmm. An Energy Ball is kind of a trash move.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But the bulk, though, that's where it really shines. 2,300 stat
Yep.
product is really big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, like, we give it a 35 and see. Oh, the exact same win rate. What do you know? It's just every matchup's the same.
Yeah, but with Fairy Wind, you get an aerial ace at every 4 Fairy Winds, which is kind of insane.
4? Is it a...
Isn't it? It's a Mudshot clone, right?
Well,
So
that
if
would
it's
be
35.
35 divided by
Yeah.
9.
Oh, okay.
It's like
So
Toad.
5, 4?
It's like Polytoad.
Or is it 4, 4, 4?
No, it's always
Oh,
4.
wow. Yeah,
No, it's
4,
4.
4. That's
It's
crazy.
4 every time.
Pluff spam's gonna be wild.
Yeah, when on the 40 version, the flying punch version, yeah, it's 5-4.
Yeah. I mean, that's really spammy. Compared to
Yeah.
currently, it's like, what, 7, 7, 7, 6, whatnot? Yeah.
Yes,
Having a
7,
5, 4 would
6.
be nuts.
Totally makes sense. The Shadow would prefer the cheapest move it can get to, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Man, what a move. So many things, no aerial ace. I'm guessing that's why they were so scared to touch it before.
Yeah.
There's also Shadow Sneasler. Some people got him. They're not supposed to.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I saw
I
a post
wonder
in
if
Discord. They
it's
said,
true.
Shadow Sneasler is not allowed until the end of this season, so maybe they'll release it. We'll see. It's strictly better than the regular. Pretty good
Yeah,
stats.
I mean it's already so glassy, right?
Yeah.
So
One of the lowest stat
Yep.
products, like, it's like Surfetch level.
Mm-hmm.
I
Man,
think
that's
that
gonna
about
love
covers
a
it.
35 aerial ace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it for aerial ace. What was the next one? That was a really good
Yeah.
one now.
I gotta close all my
it's the
tabs.
Sky
I got like a
Attack
million
nerf
tabs.
next. Yeah.
Well,
Next is Sky Attack nerf.
Sky Attack. That's
Okay.
a sad one.
It's pretty much just Altaria, Noctowl, and Skarmory, right?
Yeah, just I mean, I think these scores speak for themselves.
Oh, Rip Lugia as well
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Master
Oh
League.
yeah, Master League Lugia is gone now.
I don't think it's gone because it's so mega bulky, right? But
Fair, but it's gonna hurt a lot.
definitely not a neutral matchup monster as before.
Yeah.
Because before only really Melmetal hard countered Lugia. Right now, with being so slow, I reckon more stuff
Mm-hmm.
will hard counter it.
Yeah, it'll good point. It'll probably fare against its meta better than Altaria, Noctowl will, and Skarmory and Great
Yeah,
Leaf.
yeah.
These are just massacres. I don't think these are gonna be playable. Altaria, maybe, because it's got Dragon Breath.
Yeah, the Dragon Breath, it's so P enough,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
their main source of damage anyway.
But like, what? Let's see about Medi, right? You know. Oh wow,
Oh,
you
you
actually
don't.
still beat Medi. That's so. What would the difference be? You get to it at 50 energy. So how many breaths is that? It's so hard to read that. It's 50 divided by 3, right?
I mean, it almost gets to the third ice punch. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, before if you art swapped Altaria into Medicham, Medicham could flip two shield, I think. So it's
Mm.
pretty much just a bit of energy and you can flip it.
Yeah.
You know what?
Absolutely.
I bet Altaria does worse than the two shields because of
Oh,
not getting the sky attacks as
PV Poke
often.
says, yeah, you don't even throw a move here, which no one does. So if you throw one,
Oh,
they're really close
oh,
to a
you just
punch.
Dragon Breath down in twos.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
No one ever does that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
PV wouldn't
that's
dare.
a tough play, right? Because if they have like a Registeel or something in the back, they just
Yeah, energy's worthless.
soak all that in. Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe this is preparing for the EQ
You
being given to
swap
Altaria meta.
Yeah.
out. Oh, maybe that.
Just farm everything down, EQ the Registeel.
That's so close. If you miss time a single breath, you lose that
Yeah.
matchup.
Yeah, that's why I said you can't really counter swap Altaria into Metacham into.
Hey, Easley, we don't know if Astonish is going to be a rollout clone. They never announced it yet. All we know is it's energy generation increased.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's 5-9 right now, so it could be anywhere between 9 to
Charge
14.
beam to
Yeah.
rollout.
We
Yeah,
did look at it
yeah.
earlier.
Charge beam is 11. Roll out
Yeah,
13.
it's gonna be tough. It needs a big buff. It'll affect. It'll make a Moongus better in Fun Cups. It could be a good side grade for Dunsparce too. That's what became of that. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's Altaria. This is just sad to see, but yeah, it is what it is,
Yeah.
right? Like it's collateral.
Yeah.
It's really targeting Noctowl. How dominant it was. They probably should have gave it a damage buff though to counteract it.
Yeah, maybe. Because they already had a nerfed Sky Attack in damage like 4 seasons or 5 seasons prior.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so maybe just revert back Sky Attack in damage but increase the energy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I reckon that's also Reap Moltres because
Yeah, we'll see how
Moltres,
hard it hits them.
when the Wing Attack buff came around, Moltres was like, oh, maybe that's an interesting spice pick. Even Anhoff ran it in a tournament, if I
That's
recall
true.
correctly.
I lost to it in Peoria against Hot Pocket, who won the whole
Oh,
thing with
man.
it, and that was before the buff. It
Yeah.
really was because Lickitung and Trevenant were very dominant,
Mm-hmm.
so it was a spice pick. Although the difference now though is Mandy's a little better, so having to compete for that flying anti-ghost roll is going to be a lot tougher for Noctowl if it can't get those sky attacks spam out.
Yeah, that's Mandibuzz's for sure. I think Mandibuzz gonna slide right into that slot.
Exactly. There's a Noctowl-shaped hole in the meta.
All right.
Wow.
Shall we move on to the dig buff?
Well, yeah, we did kind of cover this with Gligar already, but there are a couple other recipients. None really notable. We got Digger's Peak, but it's got Scorching Sands now, and that is
Yeah.
objectively better.
Yeah.
Dunsparce has Drill Run.
Yeah, Scorching Sands is 80-50. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 50, right? So unless Dig is
And with a
45,
chance to debuff as well.
I guess if it's Dig is 45, it could be better. Same. Well, with Dunsparce,
Yeah,
Drill
if it's
Run's
a
already
drill run clone,
Yeah. Then it
Yeah.
might be comparable. But Scorching does have that, what is it, the debuff chance?
debuff chance. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
You probably run Dig. If
seems
it's
likely
45.
that's going to be preferred. Yeah, but probably Scorching Sands. I just don't see them making it a drill run clone or a Bulldogs clone, honestly.
Yeah.
Why make the
I think
same
they
move,
make Gligar too good.
same type? That too, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though Galarian Linoon, pretty interesting. With small body slam dig. Or is the okay, it learns dig because before they mistakenly given Linoon the Owen Linoon moveset. So thought
They gave it Grass Knot and Shadow Claw at one point.
yeah,
That
for
was
sure.
body slam. It was like 10th best on PV
Hmm.
Poke, and then they
Yeah.
fixed everyone's.
Yeah. Oh, Spinda as well, which had
Yeah,
some play in a tournament before. I
Total
see
Spice.
win buff dig. Yeah, pretty cool.
It'll respect it. This is
Oh,
really
And
Nidorina.
a Gligar buff, honestly. Which
yeah,
Pokemon?
pretty much.
Nidorina, maybe?
Nidorina?
I think
Yeah,
Nidorina's.
yeah.
Because right now, its only coverage option is return, pretty much. But yeah,
It
maybe
has
with Dig.
it
I
has
don't know.
Thunderbolt as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Thunderbolt, right, yeah. But like Poison Ground is really good coverage combination, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
it's pretty much a Needle Queen, just not as OP, I guess,
yeah.
because it
It'll
doesn't
be
really
like
have
an
the fast move.
XL Spice, limited cup Pokemon. Interesting.
I wonder if Linoon with Dig and Thunder could be interesting, because it has decent stat. No, no, I mean the Owen Linoon,
Oh, Hoenn. I was like, nah, I don't think that one's gonna do very good. Yeah. Let's
Mm,
see. Grass Knot,
because it has decent
Thunder.
stat product. Right, 1954, pretty good. Dig and Thunder, good coverage.
Let's
With
see.
Shadow Claw?
So if it gets
yeah.
14 wins with that, no, I think you need the spam.
Okay,
I
interesting.
think we've given Gligar 30 minutes of runtime already. I wouldn't be
Okay, okay,
surprised. We've
Yeah.
given it a lot of time.
okay.
Can we look at Digger
variable.
Speed with Hyper Beam? I
Well,
think
do you want
that's
to
an
know what the
interesting
Scorching
one.
Sands one? Or do you want to look at it now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Alright, we'll look at it now. Scorching Sands, Fire Punch, 21 wins. This thing's got a lot of variants now. Let's do a matrix. So we got Mudshot with Scorching Sands. We got Quick Attack with Scorching Sands. We got Mudshot with Hyper Beam. And we got Hyper Beam with Quick Attack. And Scorching Sands in all of them. It's a pretty good move. I mean, I could do Dig if it's 45. I'll probably skip it just to keep this matrix not too big. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, no, this is fun.
Not bad. So, I guess we can't put an original Earthquake here for comparison. But this is a good win record.
Yeah.
Let's change IVs on this one, because Diggerby's really bulky, so it could affect it. Okay, when you buff the IVs, it does better. So Hyper Beam.
For a double nuke set, 2419 is pretty good in the ones.
Yeah, in the ones, nonetheless. I bet the zeros are really good. Yeah, 531 in the zeros.
Yeah.
Look at those wins you get. You get Mandy, Charizard. Wow. They gotta respect the Hyper Beam. Although, a Scorching Sand probably does a lot to it, too. Pelly.
And no Trevenant to worry about getting walled by this move set.
So in this case, Quick Attack looks like a straight upgrade. Well, honestly, if it's meta, the only one of these you'd see is probably Diggersby. So you do better in the mirror.
Though now,
Yeah,
before you ran Quick Attack for Noctowl, right? But now that Carbink is more of a meta,
Oh, true. Carbink's not
I
on this
reckon
list. Yeah, I
people will
bet that.
run.
Yeah.
well, you're
putting Carbink on
resisting the
list makes
Raptors, right?
Mudshot better.
Yeah, but you still win, right? Because you're resisting the rock throws. And
Yeah, I guess so. But what do you need Quick Attack for if not for Noctowl, right? I mean, I
Let's take a
guess
look.
there's extra flyers, I guess, so maybe better into Gligar at least.
Or Mandibuzz, like bulky flyers that maybe don't get one shot by Hyper Beam.
Swampert for doing more chip to it. It's not a
Mm.
win, but it's really
Oh
close.
yeah, that
Yeah,
is really close.
that's
Yeah.
with a bait though. That's with a fire punch bait and
Is he?
landing the.
Let's turn baiting
I
on.
think so.
No, no, no. Because even in the non-fire punch one,
Uh, see, yeah,
yeah.
no baiting. So you just go
Okay.
Scorching Sands now. It's a lot. It's a well, what is it? How much is Scorching Sands? 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
50.
that's pretty quick. And you live a Hydro Cannon.
What?
Noctow's there, but we won't see that anymore. It's little things like you just do more than a mud shot does.
Oh, ooh, lantern might be actually a good pickup. Water gun
There.
lantern.
That's yeah. You need mud shot for that one.
That's an interesting one.
Okay. So there's a big one to get.
I want. What about Mandibuzz? In the zeros, like, do you need quick attack to win that one, or?
Let's see. Oh, so you need quick attack and beam to
Yeah.
win in the zeros.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I was saying. Like, I feel like if it's a bulky enough flyer that doesn't get KO'd by the beam,
Mm-hmm.
you're really in an awkward spot, right? Yeah.
Guessing you're gonna need 2 beams to knock this out. Beam only does 40%. Wild.
Oh, so 2 beams then.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it doesn't KO, like you're just kind of in an awkward spot with the mud shot.
Mm-hmm. Mud shot doing 1 damage to
That,
it. It's got 180 HP. Yeah.
that lantern pickup though could be really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the zeros, you just flat out win.
Yeah, maybe it's all right, honestly.
Well,
Not
if
being
you're in
in
the lead
awkward
though,
situations against Mandibuzz and
that's
like
tough.
other flyers like that, is better, I think.
You still lose at 2s, but it'll really depend how common Water Gun Lantern is and how much you need Mud Shot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is how it looks. Oh, what's the debuff here? -1 attack? If you get the
Yeah,
debuff, I bet you
Like,
flip it every
all
time
fine.
with quick attack too. Let's sim that real quick. Actually, let's do a quick attack, and then so you lose. Let's change this one to a debuff.
Okay.
The second
He's
one,
close to the surf too, though. Oh, but you get to
and
a
then you
move.
win. You get to
Yeah,
it before they
because
do.
you get to it first.
So you need 1 debuff of 2 of them to flip it, and with a
Yeah.
30% chance, not bad.
How many
Not
quick
bad
attacks
odds.
for a Scorching Sands?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the first, and
Oh
then
man.
6 for the second.
7, 6, and 10 for the nuke. Kind of expensive.
Yeah. Well,
Though
it's
it's
bulky
pretty
though.
Yeah.
bulky one.
Super
Yeah.
bulky. That's how people get away with it right now.
But it's so bulky, and everything is going to like hit pretty well. Whereas like right now, sure you get to a fire punch quickly, but no one's scared of the fire punch.
No.
What about the A slash matchup with this moveset? Do you one
Oh,
shot
true.
with Scorching Sands?
Let's see.
That's a good one.
Wow, you just win. And then zeros. Flat out. Oh, this is the ones. Wow.
Yeah, I reckon you beat it in every even shield, right? Because
In the
3 ice
zeros.
punches don't KO.
How about the 2s? Yep, you win everything.
Yeah, that's
All
pretty.
moves, all scenarios.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay. You can drop Fire Punch to run double nukes now,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah.
Well, that is Fire Punch. With Mandy and Digger and Gligar, how about Powder Snow? Well, you probably win with Powder Snow.
I mean, yeah, no one runs Powder Snow on A slash though.
Yeah.
besides what's his name, Rick Flareon in Worlds.
Did he actually
Yep,
Worlds?
He runs.
exactly. No,
Yeah,
he
he
did. He
runs
did.
other
What he
stuff.
plays?
I think he went to day 2, so
That's impressive. I guarantee none
recently.
of his opponents expected that.
Yeah, he lost to another Aussie in the finals, I think, of his group, and then got eliminated right after that. But yeah, he did decently, I think.
That's nice. Yeah, if it's a Gligar world, maybe people run in more and play tournaments.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, that's a good Diggersby look. What else is there? You beat Reggie.
Yeah,
Scorchion's
I
just a
don't
better
think they're.
Earthquake, so it's like any matchup that felt a little uncomfortable because you needed a bait or whatnot. Now you can just go straight Scorching Sands, which is nice.
I reckon we could, now that we're on the Scorching Sands topic, maybe we can look at Shadow Canine to
Sure.
see if it actually makes any difference. But I reckon not.
Uh,
It has a coverage move versus carving though, which is cool.
yeah. Let's see. So with Shadow with Ember Weather Ball's pretty common.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that moveset works.
There's a lot of variations for Ninetales, really. We'll compare it to Overheat with Shadow. So Overheat loses Crest in the twos. Twos with Ember though is mostly Ember. So
And apparently, you still get smoked by carving. So
yeah, you can see here it's pretty tough. You don't. I'm guessing you don't even get one off.
Adib is asking for fire spin to see if
Fire
it makes it.
spins. Hmm. I bet
I mean,
Scorching
it
Sands
does
is
charge
good.
energy quickly, right?
Let's
Or a
look
bit
at
faster.
zeros real quick before we look at that. Yeah, zeros you want Overheat, obviously. Big nuke.
Yeah.
Surprised you don't get any wins though, honestly. Not even anything double weak to ground. Let's just copy this. Then change it to fire spin. Could Galv be big? It suffers from really squishiness. We can take a look at it in a second. But yeah, also it's weak to Carbink. But we could look at it in a second. So fire spin. Well, people
I
want
reckon
regular.
Selena is better than Galv in that role that you're mentioning. Because it doesn't take neutral damage from aerial ace slash foul play. It resists all the registral moves as well.
Fire spin isn't anything
Alright.
crazy.
And it's not weak to carving.
Let's see where Galv is on the rankings for fun. Yeah. Fisk. If Gligar's good, yeah, that's another tough thing for it. Lantern.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
Galv. It's fun to run.
I reckon the
It's
Dana is slightly better.
it's because it has a 4 turn fast move, guys. I'm just kidding.
I saw that tweet. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I saw it as well. Paulie wants 7 turn fast moves to be a thing.
Oh man. Let your opponent sneak it. So K9, yeah, it suffers from lantern syndrome.
Yeah. No good.
You lose to the Medi. Lose to Medi. I feel like it had its time in the spotlight, but it's not an amazing typing. A lot of waters around. Doesn't really
I
resist much.
mean, to
Resist
be honest,
grass.
its biggest companion was Altarian. Now with Altaria being nerfed, I reckon maybe K9 is kind of gone from the map.
But
Though
it's nice
Arrow
to get a
will
coverage,
surely
though.
find a way to run it. So
It's nice to give it this move, though. Even if it's not useful in this, there could be some cup, could be some faction thing. There's always going to be some fun use for it. And maybe it will be good one day. Who knows? Maybe they'll nerf everything that it's weak to.
All right, shall we go to the earthquake nerf
Yeah, I
now?
think we covered everything dig here. Earthquake nerf. That's a pretty big one.
Yeah, just makes G-Fisk less of a neutral pick.
You can
Because
see
now you probably don't two-shot Medi, right, with Earthquake?
Yeah.
Which is kind of big.
I reran these sims a couple times. Swampert has been lower on the sims. You can see G-Fisk is way lower. 25th place.
Yeah, they basically nerfed both his moves, Rock Slide and Earthquake, right? Maybe a Metal Claw future buff will make G-Fisk viable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anti-Carbink. Well, it is already. Anti-Carbink.
But yeah. I reckon, though, besides G-Fisk, every mon that has Earthquake has an alternative. So Swampert could run Sludge Wave, Steelix could run Crunch or Breaking Swipe now. Gliscor learns Aerial Ace as well, so I reckon it's worse into Steel types, but it's a bit more of a reliable fighter counter. Shadow Wall Rain, I reckon with the Shadow bonus, Earthquake still does pretty decent damage, but it does take a significant hit, and probably Jugong is the pick when it comes to ice and ground damage, besides A slash.
Nowadays, yeah, it's virtually identical coverage, and Dugong has the debuff, so.
Yeah.
So really,
can we look at like what that drop, or would that be too hard to like make a second earthquake?
I could do that real quick. I'll put an old earthquake back.
I'm mainly just curious about G-Fisk. That's the main one.
Yeah. Because Swampert, it's just Hydro Cannon spam 99% of the time.
Yeah, though Swampert kind of had of a niche use with Earthquake, where you could just go straight to Earthquake versus Metachamp, for example.
Earthquakes is actually its move.
Yeah.
So we got Earthquake 120. I gotta rename the IDs real quick. So we got 2 Earthquakes now. We'll look at the new Stunfisk and the old Stunfisk. Do the right IVs. We'll see what changes. 4 wins. Lantern, Lickitung, wow, and Cress.
Whoa, it doesn't beat Lickitung and Cress now? What the okay. That's kind of bad, man. Yeah, because it was kind of the reason people ran Register. It's because it hardwalled those Cress and Lickitungs.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? Earthquakes is like bread and butter. Like that's its move. Oh.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Obviously, this is really close, high IVs, right? You gotta have a good Lickitung.
I mean, there has been plenty of Lickitung and G-Fisk in the wild. I'm sure people.
I think everyone's got this is like a rank 8 one, I think. So that's and you live with 5 HP, so you just need a decent one, and especially if you're a lick ahead. You switch it in, 2 licks ahead, and all of a sudden wow, that's actually crazy. They do shield a body slam here. Can I put your IVs in? Sure, why not? Oh, well. Looks like it's time for an upgrade. It's a little different.
Is that a D?
Yeah. Here, you just need to build a breakpoint one. What is that? 15 attack Stunfisk, and then you do 3 every one shot. Yeah, do that.
Non-guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. Pretty wild that you can actually flip this. If you go
Yeah,
straight
because like you
out,
said, like I mean, I'm sure there are certain situations where Earthquake is gonna hurt Swampert, but like Earthquake was Jeeth's move, like that's its stab move where it's doing most of its damage in a lot of these matchups. So,
like against Medi, you're gonna do worse. See, it's a little less now. Every matchup that it's in is gonna do a little bit less. So it's actually didn't go down too bad, but losing Water Gun Lantern stinks too, especially if people start running that.
yep.
Oh, hello, Caleb. Thanks for the raid. Hello, everyone.
Hey,
Oh,
how's it going?
We're running
we're
through the
just
move
You
going.
updates.
wanna give them?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this is custom PV poke.
Yep.
For those that don't know.
We have everything of the new update except for the energy counts, all loaded. We're running through every single move. There's so many things. This is a great update.
Yeah. Thank you again to Matt, PV Poke, for making this available by making his
Mhm.
code open source so that we can do this type of stuff locally on our own version of PV Poke. Pretty
There's no
cool.
link. Sorry. This is on my computer. I'm not going to dox myself. Not just yet.
But yeah, we were just going through the EQ nerf, and
Yeah.
the biggest loser is pretty much G-Fisk because it doesn't really have an alternative, right? Swampert can run Sludge Wave, Gliscor can run Aerial Ace. So yeah,
Hmm.
You
there's
can
an
see here
alternative.
it's 25th best. That's a pretty big down from whatever it is now. Like 9th,
Yeah, it
8th,
used to be like number
2nd.
2 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always up there, but you want
Yeah.
to run Earthquake against everything.
Then it
Yeah.
drops Licky Tongue in the one shield and Water Gun Lantern as well, and
Yeah.
Cresselia.
I dropped my
Those are
basics
some
to
pretty big
split 'em.
losses.
Yeah. So we have a new Stunfisk and we have the old Stunfisk. You can see I added damage or energy after each move so you can see the difference. Let's change IVs to rank 1s. And look at that. Wow. You can ignore the Stunfisk because it's not a fair comparison. But Lickitung and Water Gun Lantern and Cresselia, pretty wild stuff, honestly. Those are pretty tough losses.
Could you check 01511 G-Fisk, which is the
Yeah.
rank 3 that's defense weighted that allows you to beat Water Gun Lantern straight EQ in ones?
Sure. We'll do it with the new one. 01511? High
Yeah.
defense? Yeah.
Hmm.
Nope.
Okay, you
Still
still
lose.
lose that. Okay. Okay.
Barely. But it's still a loss. That was a win before.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Crazy.
that's cool. Okay,
Check
so
out some more
Lantern
scenarios. Let's look at the
is
zeros.
reliable.
You lose Kofa.
Coffin.
And that changes nothing.
Yeah, and Coffin might actually become the staple ghost in Great League right now that Sableye is being nerfed due to carving. And Mandibuzz as well.
That's true. I didn't really consider that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even better than Dark Pulse Coffin will be Return Coffin when it comes this Halloween, Cobian.
One of these years we'll get a return, Kofin. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this is
Pretty
still
cool.
a good win rate. Although, it's tough. Like every time you do Earthquake, you do a little bit less, so it adds up. That's why it's ranking so much worse. The 2s, looks like you don't lose anything either.
Yeah, well,
But,
Tastic, you gotta manifest it.
yeah, exactly. The thing is that these are very specific scenarios too. So it's very specific IVs. All the a double damage debuff or nerf is gonna hurt a lot.
The thing is, Power Gem is such a bad move, even in the Shadow Sableye. I can tell myself as a Shadow Sableye user, I mainly use it to boost the fall play and Shadow Claw damage. Power Gem is rarely used. So
That's true.
Ishikawa
Ishikawa
boy,
boy
yeah.
though. Yeah, he
Yeah,
ran it though.
running
That was really
regular Power
interesting.
Gem Sableye.
Yeah.
I mean, dude also ran Vigoroth in a
Yeah.
Medicham meta, so I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, he was cooking though. He was playing really well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your
But
opponent
yeah,
might.
for those that joined, we already went over Aerial Ace, Spark, a lot of the other buffs. Yeah, we were just going over Earthquake. What else? What else were we potentially going to look at?
I mean, now it's pretty much just new moves to different mons, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Who's excited for Boomburst? Give it up for Boomburst! Yay!
Yeah, let's go.
If you
One
guys
day
want to see
Converse will be
anything,
playable.
yeah, if you guys want to see anything in chat, you can drop a mention or comment.
Yeah,
And,
I just
yeah,
want to say if you're playing Gym Breakers and you weren't running Shadow Dust Clubs before, you better start running it because it's busted. It was busted before and it's busted now, so.
Poltergeist buff.
Oh yeah, the Shadow Poltergeist almost one shot
Yeah.
everything. Now it does
Some of
one
the
shot.
interesting things we saw like Gligar looks really good. Halucha actually, maybe could be interesting.
Yeah. Mantine, Gligar, Mandibuzz,
Could be
Superior,
interesting with an energy
Ivysaur,
advantage, and like
Cluff,
Shadow Beedrill too. Yep.
Escav, a little bit of Tropius, Halucha, a little bit of Beedrill. Those guys are going to benefit from Aerial Ace a lot.
Yeah. Well, this is pretty exciting. Definitely like the most exciting update in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Chat is asking for new EQ versus Swampert in zeros. Probably to see if
Let's find
Reggie
out.
reaches it. Focus bars, maybe. I mean, you do outpace it though if you're on even energy, right? You just get to EQ first. You get to focus blast first, but
So in the zeros, you need to throw a Hydro Cannon. I actually you don't. It throws here, but you don't have to. You can overfarm.
yeah, you just farm down. Yeah,
That's normal. With the Shadow, one
you
Earthquake's
just
enough.
want. Yeah, so it doesn't really change that matchup specifically.
No. It does 107.
Oh, interesting call on chat. Aerial Ace on Greninja instead of Night Slash.
I'm not sure.
Oh yeah.
Night Slash is stab. So,
Yeah, no, the thing about Night Slash is that you can get it in it's three shurikens and then two shurikens.
yeah.
While Aerial
Mm-hmm.
Ace will be slightly more, right? So, if it's
Well,
40,
if
of course.
it's there's two aerial
If
aces
it's
we could
Yeah,
get.
yeah,
So,
if it's the Flying Punch.
yeah, depends on which one we get. If it's 40, then yeah, I think you'll win Night Slash every time. If it's 35, let's see. I gotta add Pokemon. Really? I'm curious. So,
Okay, you drop matchups. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
looks like Night Slash is pretty good here.
Mm-hmm.
You lose DD. You lose the boost chance too. So Aerial Ace is
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
better against Toxie.
How much closer is Azu also? You're doing like, I don't know.
You do the same against Medi. Presumably you just get one Hydro off.
Right.
You wish Mandibuzz with high bulk was more accessible? Me too. Trust me, me too. I do not have a good one. I hope they spawn. That'd be fun.
I
Is
already have
Azu
three
any
members
closer?
of this build.
Azu with a little.
No.
A little.
Little, barely.
You know, my best one is technically from Daily Incense, but it's 1482 CP, so yeah, I've only got like 2 of them from there. Okay, so in the ones, how does it do worse? How does
I don't.
doesn't even make
Yeah.
sense? That's not not how it's supposed to be. Why does it do worse? Oh, okay. It throws Hydro when it is Night
That makes
Slash.
sense. Yeah. Yeah.
So Aerial Ace. Let's look like a neutral matchup. I'm curious how much they do. What is their damage? So Aerial Ace is 39. Night Slash is 43. So you're doing a little bit more with Night Slash, and then you have the boost chance. So it would be a coverage thing if you want to run it. Damage wise, you'd rather
That
see
makes
Night,
sense.
because you got that
That
dark
makes
stab.
sense. Yeah. No, you got to think Night Slash. I mean, obviously it depends on the meta, but like, sure, you could run Aerial Ace if it's Azu, but if it's Lantern, you want Night Slash too, right? So,
Coverage against Medi and
even
Wrath. You're right. So you can't do it for that. Although you still lose. It just punches you. But I guess if you want to use it as like a Charizard and farm something down, you could do that. So there's Aerial Ace. It throws Hydro here. But it said it could get 2 Aerial Aces before. With Night Slash, just as that. Overall, Hydro Cannon's really busted. Aerial Ace is good. Does about the same damage. So it'll depend. But yeah, Night Slash does look overall a little better. Just does a little more. But if you want to target Metacham with it, you could run Aerial Ace. Does the Medi,
Nice.
the rank 1 best buddy Medi beat Reggie in the zeros? Good question. I think we ran over that earlier. We'll do it again. We got a lot more people here now. We'll do it. So we got Medi, best buddy, rank 1, versus Reggie. We'll use the rank 1, but nobody has that, so I'll do another one after this. In the zeros, you lose 1 HP if they get the debuff. But, I mean, look at that HP on the Reggie. What if I do a default IV? Okay, so Medi will win 99.9% of the time. Unless you play against someone who has a HP-weighted Registeel. And even then, it's got to be a good one, too. You'll probably win as the Medi, but it's really close. Because your Psychic's doing a little less. I have the old Psychic here. We can compare. So if it's like a 506 score before it would have... Oh, it's the same score? Really? Well, it does 1 more damage. So, does 1 less damage per Psychic. So, basically identical. Hey, no problem. Is Gligar or Gliscor better now? Probably Gligar. Depends on Dig. If Dig's a Bulldoze clone, it's gonna probably not be amazing. If Aerial Ace is good, then I guess they're both good. They both got it. But Earthquake's getting nerfed, for sure. We know that, and we know how much it is, so that hurts Gliscor a bit. It'd take a pretty bad Dig to make Gligar worse.
Yeah, Gligar's ability to still win the Metacham matchup too is pretty interesting, right? So
What else did we cover? So yeah, Spark was Lantern. It's a tough one, really. It changes its role because right now it's super spammy. But with this, a lot of people are going to resort to Water Gun. Or if you do want Spark, it's just more of a heavier damage thing. And it's like worse against Stunfisk, better against, things that aren't great against Spark. Or pretty close.
yeah, the win rate was pretty similar as compared to Water Gun. If Spark is 6/7, like 6 damage, 7 energy. If it's 6/6, then Water Gun will definitely be preferred. But A 6/7 Spark, which is a Bullet Punch clone, actually doesn't look that bad, honestly. It looks like a side grade compared to old Spark and current water.
Mm-hmm. Is Mew any better or worse now? Hard to say. But probably close to what it is. Noctowl's gone. Maybe you run an anti-Carbink one. Does it learn any steel moves? Gyro Ball.
Yeah.
Who knows? Or Surf, Wild Charge. Classic. Oh man.
Cool.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I think so. What was your I think biggest I don't know, what are you most excited about in this from this from everything we looked at and the
Um,
changes and
we haven't even gone over the moves yet either. There's so many moves here.
oh yeah, can we look at Steelix? Because that's one
Yeah.
I think definitely deserves to be looked at.
We got a
It's
couple here to look at for sure.
yeah.
There's a lot of them that
We
don't
are
need it, but it's good to have coverage, though. Gotta admit.
yeah. We looked at
A
Diggers.
lot
I
of
think
heroics.
Diggersby and Steelix are
Yeah.
probably the two meta impactful. Or are there any
Uh,
other ones that you'd say are that tier?
Greed is a straight upgrade. We
Yeah,
Greeded
you
with
think so?
Mud Shot's
Okay.
good. I
Okay.
didn't think so at
Okay.
first, but after looking at it, it seems like it's just better. And it's really, really spammy, so you can safe switch it in some metas. Maybe Ultra League too.
Interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, Steelix with Breaking Swipe, I think that
That
thing's
could be
gonna be nuts.
busted, right?
It could be
Yeah,
pretty
it could.
busted. We looked at Mandy. Right now, an Aerial Ace of 40, it's looking like it'll just be a almost identical Noctowl. Although really bad against Carbink, unless you're running the Shadow Ball variant.
And even then, we found out you get rock thrown down. So,
Yeah,
but at least you're I mean, you have something to throw at it.
slightly better.
Yeah, and you're spamming aerial ace anyways, probably. So you don't really hate dropping the dark coverage for ghost coverage because you can still throw the ghost move into the steals. Shadow Alolan Sandslash was the one drop that we saw in the Matrix. It was pretty consistent. If you ran Shadow Ball over Foul Play, you're gonna have a much worse time against Shadow Alolan Sandslash. But otherwise, you sometimes had a better Metacham matchup in different things, safer into Carbink, so possibly viable, like an Aerial Ace, a Snarl Aerial Ace, Shadow Ball, Mandibuzz. But yeah, I'm sure Snarl, Aerial Ace, Foul Play will be the standard set. Just all depends on how popular Carbink is to whether or not people start looking at Shadow Ball.
So in case you couldn't tell here, this is the new dilemma of Steelix. It's got 4 viable second moves with Breaking Swipe, right? For Greatly, you could one Earthquake to cover Stunfisk and whatnot. A little nerf now, but still. I mean, you got Crunch to hit neutral for a lot of things that Breaking Swipe might not be good against. Little weak to Fairies, though. So this might be more of an Ultra League moveset. Then you got Psychic Fangs to just spam them with debuffs all out of the day. It's just, that would be a fun
Well, see,
one.
the question with that set is, do you lower their attack first or lower their defense first?
Yeah, and here's the tricky thing
Right?
actually with it. The
Yeah.
Sims, it doesn't know what to do right now. So
Right.
he's gonna have to fix it because it's like sometimes you want to do it one way or the other. It's a tricky thing though.
Well, we were talking about this off stream, right? Like, if you're shielding, you probably want to throw Breaking Swipe first to drop their attack, right? Shield, and then start throwing the Psychic Fangs, right? I think that's
Yeah.
what we were saying.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see
That's
all sorts of win rates here.
interesting.
And in this case,
A
it
lot of
says that
pretty good
Breaking
win
Swipe
rates.
Psychic Fangs is really bad for both of them.
Yeah.
But if I turn
But
baiting
it's
off,
sim logic,
look at this. When you turn baiting off, suddenly it's the best.
right? So it's the
It's
sim
throwing
logic,
the
yeah.
wrong move. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to play that one a little differently depending on the matchup and what's
Time to
best.
sandbox.
Yeah. You got to sim a lot with that. But I mean,
Yeah,
his
I think generally with shields up though, it makes sense, right? Like lower their attack first, shield, then start lowering their defense.
yeah, this thing's crazy though. With a win rate this high and a debuff move and
Hmm.
bulk of 2,300 stat product, it's gonna be really good. I think. Um,
Yeah.
so this is the ones. I guess I thought I saw some scenarios where we could beat Medi. Maybe it was the zeros. No, it might be with an energy lead actually, which I can't do here. Let me try. Let's do that one. What if you get one more tail? You switch it in. You beat Medi in the zeros as a
Whoa.
steel type. Only Reggie can do that right now, and even then, it's a little finicky.
Hmm. That's gonna be a sufficiently, well, maybe not sufficiently, but it'll be a slightly defanged Metacham too, even if they decide to like shield and like, kind of farm down a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because you are debuffing and it's guaranteed.
So let's look at all of these ones here. So this is the zeros. Let's look at the ones first. I thought you could beat Swampert in some of it. Maybe up energy. I think the thing's better is a
Yeah.
switch with a little more energy.
Yeah.
Bait out their counter user and then have something weak to it in the back. Or like Reggie Steelix, double steal.
Hmm. I mean,
Umbreon.
you can play it a little bit, even like you play Haxorus now currently, but it's just like it's way bulkier at least.
Yeah. I mean, having a guaranteed debuff that's very spammy on a very bulky
So
mon,
cheap.
even though its
Yeah.
typing is weak to a lot of the common meta, it's gonna be a threat. Do really good against Spark Lantern. Really good. Not even with Earthquake, just straight breaking swipe.
Yeah.
The meta's got everything going for it, but it still holds its own. That's why I think it's gonna be good. That's gonna be a fun addition. So many choices too. When you play against one, you don't know what move this is gonna be either. So if you're at a play tournament, you see a Steelix, unless they do open team sheets sometime in the future, it could be
Oh
any of these
man.
four.
Yeah, that's gonna be quite the
Unpredictable.
headache. Yeah.
And then you have the shadow versions to memorize too. They're all pretty viable. They all got a good win rate.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't look like one's necessarily
Yeah,
preferable. Like
exactly. And the
immediate.
only ones that look bad here are the ones that do better if you play it differently. This is a fun one. I wonder if it looks like an Ultra League. I don't think I simmed it. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's probably going to be OP. Breaking Swipe Crunch. Hard to sim all these at once. But it's going to be good. What if you do Earthquake? 28 wins, 20 losses. Not bad. Ooh, that's about zeros. Turn that shadow off. I already see people running it right now. I would not be surprised if it goes up. Well, it has to. It's getting a good move. Alright. Well, that's good for Steelix. How about we look at Greedent? That's a fun one. We'll look at it in the Matrix. Greedent. We'll compare it with the previous one. Rhyperior with Breaking Swipe in Master League. That could be fun. So, with Mudshot, you pick up Azu, Basti, Drapion, and Umbreon. Not bad. You do lose Swampert. A little unfortunate. but that's not the shadow one. This is neutral energy too. The zeros, it's wow. You'd be Basti, Zard, Altaria, Dunsparce, Lantern, A9, A/, Non-Shadow, Shadow Swampert, and Walrein. Not bad. Not bad at all. How about the twos? Okay. Pretty similar stuff. Fascinating.
Wow, that's a bigger
Big upgrade than
change
you
than I
thought?
expected. Yeah.
It's good stuff for it. I really wanted to look, because I looked at my rankings earlier, and if I look at my safe switches, it was pretty high up there. Granted, it's, like, things like Samurott on the list, Poliwrath, Double's always high on safe swap, but in reality, everyone's running Medicham, right? I just wonder if this is going to be a little different, because you have Mudshot Body Slam. Although, probably not. Well, with Ultra League,
Yeah,
it's
probably
a
not.
different story. I do wonder about Ultra League. What do we got here? Not bad.
So, is Greedent not the bulk? I think it's the bulkiest Pokemon with that Mudshot 35 energy combination.
Let's see.
Like the other Pokemon like Politoed or Flygon, none of them are as bulky as Greedent, right?
There you go. That's your answer. Yeah. All those are 40 and above. So this will be the bulkiest, spammiest thing.
Right, yeah. That's with that like highest spam combination. It's the bulkiest Pokemon with that.
Let's do an energy
Yeah.
grade. Take 3 wins.
And I don't actually, I mean, I guess I could think about it, but like it might not actually be that much faster than Bullet Seed version. But I do wonder if in Ultra League it might contribute to like more timeouts if it is popular.
Yeah. Greedent mirrors.
Yeah, in Ultra League too, right? Where you're just like, I don't know, could be something
Takes 100
to think
seconds in
about.
Great League. Oh no. Oh no. We gotta look at Ultra League now. Oh, it's even quicker.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting. Okay.
Not expecting that. But 82 seconds is a little while. Kind of boring.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Maybe not. Maybe not as. Yeah.
It's
I was
probably
just
comparable
curious
right now.
because.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably not that different.
With Bullet Seed, how much does that take right now?
I mean, it need to.
Same time.
At worst case,
So.
it probably gets to one other move. Yeah, or nothing. Yeah, no difference there.
So no difference there. Good old Greedent.
Makes sense.
I'll see more people playing it.
Yeah.
The 70th bulkiest thing in Great League. I wonder. At the very least, try to get a good Great League one. Run in some fun theme cups. Maybe it'll be good as a safe swap.
Yeah.
Who knows? Could see some play. It's a nice little buff. So
Yeah.
let's see. We'll look at Rhyperior now.
Rhyperior.
Yeah, it's getting Breaking Swipe now.
Oh man. Okay.
So Great League, nothing too crazy to write home about with SmackDown. It's not good bulk Great League. Moves aren't amazing. It's like Basti, but no bulk. So let's take it up to Master League. Superpower? Oh, it does learn that, huh? I'll try that out. Instead of Rock Wrecker. Okay.
Master League. That's interesting.
This is Great League still. I changed it back. I wanted to see Superpower.
Oh yeah,
It's okay.
just didn't even think about it, but it probably is more relevant in Master League than Dragon,
Yeah.
right?
You know, there's always a lot of cups with SmackDown in it, right? So maybe there'll be a SmackDown Cup where you want to breaking swipe stuff.
Okay.
Let's look at Master League now. I bet that'll be interesting. Oh wow, 20 and 13 with Superpower breaking.
Yeah,
Swipe. Sheesh.
that's interesting.
That's pretty good. You lose to
Hey.
Kyogre. You lose to Groudon. Metagross.
That's kind of crazy.
You lose to Dialga. You tie Mewtwo. You beat Exca? Wait. With SmackDown? Wow. Really? Huh. You breaking swipe them and then you... Why do you... This doesn't make much sense. It shields the second one after you debuff them. That's a little weird. Yeah, you need to bait it. Okay.
No, this is the 5-head play because you make them think you're gonna just superpower and take shield advantage.
Easy. You beat all this stuff. Not bad. Obviously, Ho-Oh's the hardest target for it, right? SmackDown
Yeah.
week. It does have Surf. It's got a lot of moves. Quite a few. I wonder what Surf would do. A little worse.
Man, I was
mean-
not expecting 20 and 13.
Superpower for Dialga, though. That's a big one. Even though you don't win it, right? You just want to have it. See? You win the 2s. I'm guessing that's baiting. Yeah. Possible now. Also, this is SmackDown. Yeah, yep. As you just mentioned, I was about to say, it's got Mud Slap, too. I'm expecting it to be worse. It's not a good move. But it is stab, and it is heavy damage, and Dialga's everywhere. Okay, yeah. Nothing amazing. Does it beat Dialga? Yes. It does. Straight breaking swipe. Cool. So, Mudshot, breaking swipe. You beat Dialga in the 1s and the 2s. Pretty well. So that's good to know. You debuff those Dragon Breaths, and you got a lot of health left. That's fun. You beat some Steels. Losses are pretty big, though. Can't ignore that, right?
You know what? I wasn't even expecting this much from Rhyperior, so...
Yeah?
You-
Good job,
it-
Rhyperior.
And
You made the
yeah,
cut.
it's already impressive.
Wait,
Yeah,
you
it's already
beat
impressive.
Zacian with Snarl? Huh? He just... How does that happen? Wow. This is the... Wait, rock move with slap? Rock record? Could. So you beat Zacian in the 1s and the 2s with Mud Slap. Interesting.
But
We started simming Master League and summoned DJ.
I'm right on time. Wait, what have you gone through so far?
Most, well, we did all
You've gone through all-
the moves, the changes.
all
Now
the
we're on
moves,
Pokemon.
all the moves. Yeah, now on the move edition.
Oh, we already talked about Mega Steelix.
Not Mega Steelix, actually.
No, we only did Great League, actually, because we're Great League
Yeah.
only
Oh.
play.
So how
Pretty
does
much
Great
everything's
League? Okay, so this thing gets breaking swipe too, but I don't think that really helps it that much.
Well, you
He's
debuff
20
him.
and 13 in Master League.
Oh wait, you beat the Tina now, right?
This is old and new.
Yeah, that makes sense. You probably beat the Tina now. Can you see versus Tina with it?
Sure. With breaking swipe.
Yeah.
This is mud slap too. Probably smackdown with Tina.
No, I think you'd want to keep Mud Slap. I don't think you can
Um,
run Smack.
there you go. You beat them both.
What about with Mud Slap?
Let me see. I'm gonna pull them up.
I
So you
think
lose
you
the
want
zeros,
Mud Slap.
ones and twos. Mud slap. You win the ones and twos against
I think
Origin.
Mud Slap is the play because you still have to be able to beat the steel types reliably. And with SmackDown, you just don't.
Yeah, as long as steals are relevant, it's like, well, you're 2013 with SmackDown, but in reality, Dialgo's on every team right now, so taking those small losses might be better in the long run.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm pretty
Is
sure Dijon told me like yesterday it's a Ho meta, so I'm surprised he's not advocating for SmackDown.
okay, but if it's a ho meta, who cares? You beat it anyway.
I'm just
You don't.
kidding.
You don't beat
I'm
it
kidding.
with Mud Slap.
Oh, I wasn't kidding.
Oh
You're
yeah,
losing.
sure you weren't, Polly.
What are you talking? You don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah.
No, if you run Mud Slap, you run Rock Wrecker, I think.
Wait, this is Earthquake Ho-Oh. Do people run Sacred Fire, right?
Most of people run Sacred Fire,
Oh, then
correct?
you win.
Yeah, there you go. Well, although some people do run Earthquake because they need it for like the Zekrom.
Fascinating. My Fury is an interesting one. Got a lot of choices now.
Okay, now do Mega Steelix.
If you lead Rhyperior and there's a Ho in the lead, they're probably going to switch out as opposed to risking it for 2 Smackdowns. Or maybe they wait a second.
I would wait.
Yeah. So Mega Steelix and the like Open Master? I don't think I have Mega Master. Oh, I didn't look at Rhyperior and Master Premier either.
Wait.
Oh, that's pretty nice. The tricky thing about Mega Masters is you have Mega Swampert, Mega Kyogre, and Mega
And
Groudon.
can't you just do like regular PV poke and just insert a Mega Steelix with Breaking Swipe
Yeah, I can do that.
for this? Yeah. Because I don't think we need to do because the only other difference is Rayquaza, right? And Rhyperior.
Yeah, there's not a lot for Master League.
Yeah.
This is an Ultra League and especially Great League update. Oh, that's regular.
Do it against Master League factions. Because that's the relevancy here, right?
Do you see it? I don't see it here.
Can you look at Open League? Look
Yeah.
at
Breaking Swipe Crunch. Wow.
yeah. It's stupid.
Well, it'll only be legal in Mega Master League. Or,
No.
faction thing.
Yeah. Factions, yeah. Scroll up.
Well, they're gonna ban it. They're not gonna let this go.
I don't know if they'll ban it.
With only 9 losses?
Well, it doesn't have the other megas out yet, right? Though this list doesn't have the other megas.
Mm-hmm.
So go up and see if you can submit into Master League.
I only got Master Premier. This is a custom one.
Yeah, do Match
Right.
League factions meta. Yeah. Is there no Match League factions there?
No, it's gone. No more
Oh,
factions.
okay.
Alright, well, here's Mega. You lose to Primal. Lose to Blaze.
Okay, so the ones that are relevant here, because Primals will always be banned, Swampert will always be banned. The Blastoise, Blaziken, and what else? The Mega Wizard is always banned.
Mm-hmm.
Gyarados always banned. Gardevoir is Slowbro. So you don't even lose to that many Megas. Your win rate's still insanely cracked. You're gonna be at like 36 and
66
12.
win rate.
Well, if you take out your ban losses, right? Because you're like Gyarados, Swampert, Charizard, Mega Y, um, and the Primals are always going to be banned, right? So that's like 36-13, and then you're probably beating like Rayquaza, Latios. Yeah, so you're probably going to be around 66%, which is stupid. Yeah, that's nutty. It's very freaking good, and in like the faction style metas, it has such moveset versatility
Yeah.
that
Yeah, we were
it's
running that in
it's
Great League. It's like
genuinely
4
lethal.
moves that are viable.
It's genuinely lethal because you can run Earthquake, Cron, Psychic Wings, Breaking Swipe, and then you have the Fang and Dragon Tail. And do you have a third fast move? No, right? It's just those two.
Um,
What?
Like,
Thunderfang.
Thunderfang.
yeah, I said Thunderfang.
Yeah.
Thunderfang, Dragon Tail. Yeah, yeah. So
Iron
like,
Tail is the third fastest.
yeah, but Iron Tail's horrible, so we're not
Yeah.
even gonna bring that up. Yeah, so like this thing's actually pretty cracked with Breaking
Yeah, the
Swipe.
charge move versatility is insane.
Yep.
It really is. I think that's why it's going to be good in Ultra and Great, too. You
Mhm.
know what to expect.
I agree. I think Ultra League is already disgusting. Like the bulk on it in Ultra League is actually pretty nutty.
Yeah. Wait, so do you guys think it will be like how meta? Because look, there's just generally speaking, right? There's only
Yeah,
so many steel types that you can put on your team, right? And your team of six. You can't bring, like 4 steel types. So, well, I mean, uh, at least not the types of steels that we're currently talking about. Maybe Skarmory's a little different, but
well,
so
Skarmory's horrible.
yeah, it's horrible. But I'm saying like it's more of a flyer than it's a different type of steel. But like for the steel types that we're talking about, like G-Fisk took us a little bit of a hit for sure, right? So like most people are looking at running Reggie or Shadow Alolan Sandslash or both. Like, where does Steelix fit into that? Like, do you think Steelix is like play Pokemon viable is what I'm getting at? Or do you think it's more like a really interesting pick for limited metas, remix and maybe even open Great League GBL? But
I I don't really see it doing too well in GBL or play.
mm-hmm.
I just think it's not good enough. Like you're running all non-stab moves, right?
Yeah.
So you're not going to be dishing out crazy damage. Like, yes,
Yep.
it's entirely debuff reliant, and once you start stacking those debuffs, it's obviously much, much better. But again, I don't really see the full like. I feel like players are good enough to play around those debuffs, because like neither of those moves have to be shielded. You're like providing zero shield pressure. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can absorb moves, but um, you're still getting two shot in most like neutral to negative matchups, right?
Yeah. It just feels like a Basti type of Pokemon to me. A Pokemon where I
I
think it
I
will have play in GBL. I mean, it's not going to be dominant in GBL, right? But it'll have more play in GBL. And then in play Pokemon, I think it's going to be a liability more than anything because you're losing steel head-to-head matchups. You're losing the Metacham matchup, and then you're losing any Mud Boy and Water Gun Lantern matchups.
and Water Gun Lantern.
So it's like that's a lot of losses, and obviously every team's not going to have those 4 roles. But there are going to be plenty of teams that have Steel, Medi, double Water, because that's the meta, right?
And,
so like,
it probably loses to Gligar too now, right?
It probably loses to Gligar, yeah.
And
although you'd expect it to at least have a little bit more play there than Reggie, but
it'll lose to Alolan Sandslash.
Yeah, if they run double Steel
It
and double Water,
probably loses to Dugong.
maybe.
Let's find out.
At least you're more neutral there. I don't know. I think it'll be like Basti, where it's like you can build lines around it that work. Maybe even
this is like
in GBL.
This is like double
play.
baiting the breaking.
Yeah.
This is baiting the breaking swipe into Earthquake.
Let's start baiting.
If
Let's do like straight break. You win straight break.
You win straight break. Okay, that's kind of nutty.
Yeah.
Wait, what if?
Here's
What
the thing
if?
you gotta consider about Steelix. Also, I didn't do the right stat product. That was not the rank 1. This is the rank 1. You still win. Look at that stat product.
Okay.
Though. It's 2,300. That's no joke.
That's true. But what if you go? Icy Wind first and then straight drill run.
I hope we can sim that. Let's see.
And you can even
shield.
You can no shield it. Yeah. And then shield the last drill run. No, shield the second drill run. Because you're breaking swipe. Yeah.
You win? Oh wait,
no,
they have a move.
Yeah.
So Dugong.
So like I think Dugong can very easily play into this matchup. You know, because like once you get the debuff, you're kind of chilling.
Yeah.
So like, I think this is. Go.
I was just gonna say, like, it looks really good on paper, you know.
Exactly.
But I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like a Basti type Pokemon.
I agree.
Almost a live. Not even like less viable, but like just a liability straight up.
One thing.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I will say is that it's probably really promising in like those bulky neutral matchups against like Lickitung and Umbreon and stuff like that, Mandibuzz.
Yeah.
But the thing is, your standard steel beats those anyway, right? Like Reggie wins those anyway. So you really need Steelix in that spot. I could see the Steelix over G-Fisk argument in some scenarios, maybe.
Yep.
But I can't. No. I cannot see the Steelix over Reggie argument.
Well, I just think at this point, if you're running double steel, you're running Reggie Shadow A slash.
The only like perk of having Steelix over Reggie is the fast move damage, where like in your losing matchup, you'll still perform better, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like into a Swampert with one Mudshot lead, Reggie is just absolutely dead and will do no damage.
Yeah. It's true. I don't know. I mean, I'm excited about it. I think it's interesting. You know, I think it'll be, but yeah, I don't think it'll be that impactful in play.
I think it'll be very good in limited metas, though. I think that's where. I think it might be
like remix, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna pop off in remix or something. Yeah.
It might be a prime ban candidate in grassroots metas. Like
it's almost too good now.
Exactly. It honestly might just get banned out of all the grassroots metas because it just seems so dominant. Unless there's like a fighting meta or something like that, you know? But if it's a neutral option in a meta, it just has to be banned.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see it get some love though, because Steelix's stat product has never been, utilized to its full potential.
Right.
just because it was just getting hindered by the move set. So it needed 2 buffs to do it, but it finally got Psychic Fangs and Breaking Swipe, and now it can actually hang.
But do you run both? I don't know.
I mean, depends on the meta, right?
Yeah.
You can.
Because if both of them are neutral into the meta, it's just free. It's so free. It's like the perfect setup Pokemon. People thought Dugong was a good setup Pokemon. This is way better. Because not only do you like you can set up farm downs for low damage fast moves with it, right? You like breaking swipe once, and then you can
Mm-hmm.
just go like Psychic Fang on them, or breaking swipe twice and then go Psychic Fang on them, something like that, and to like set up a mud shot down or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there is a lot of value in it, but it's going to be tricky to use in open formats just because it doesn't seem as dominant as the current meta Pokemon.
Yeah, definitely.
Alrighty.
Is there anything else?
Well,
I think we looked at most of the new move. Like we looked at Diggers being Steelix for the big ones. We looked at a couple of other.
Yeah.
Was there any
What
other
did
ones you want to look
Gardevoir?
at?
What did
That
Gardevoir
Rhyperior,
get?
interesting call.
Gardevoir got Magical Leaf?
mm-hmm.
Huh.
A non-stab though, so probably won't be
Yeah.
crazy. Fun cups though.
Were there any interesting Trailblaze Pokemon?
Let's see. Trailblaze.
Ursaluna, holy shit. Master League Ursaluna with Trailblaze?
Yeah. Also, it's got Aerial
Although,
Ace too. Aerial Ace is
I-
getting buffed.
I don't actually want Trailblaze on it. Because I think you need to have Earthquake on it, or like you need to keep a ground move, and I think you need to something to hit flyers.
The high
So I think,
horsepower? You mean?
or sorry, high horsepower. Oops, yeah, you need high horsepower for the matchups you have to win, and then I think you have to have like a coverage move for the flyers. Like Trailblaze isn't going to help you win Kyogre. You're still going to lose to Kyogre.
Right.
Tackle, you get nothing. You gotta build your
No,
way
that's
up to
true.
this
Lycanroc is interesting.
thing. Skuntank's a cool one.
Oh, Skuntank's a really cool one. Yeah. Yeah, you okay? So Skuntank was already annoying for Swampert.
Yeah, now
Now
really
it's like
annoying.
now it's like really annoying for Swampert. Berserker too.
Ampharos is
For
getting
for
it too. Yes. I think I missed it. Oh, where was it? Here it is. Yeah.
that's wild.
Now it's got like 20 moves.
Oh. Yeah. Let's see. Oh my God. Did we see Greedent get Mudshot? Did we like why?
Greedent?
Yeah, didn't Greedent get Mudshot?
Yep. Wait, were you not there? I thought you were there. Oh, I guess you weren't. Yep. We
No,
talked.
I wasn't.
It was it's very spammy now. It's like
It's
the
dumb.
bulkiest
That's so
spammy
dumb.
thing.
I am very happy about Swalot, but Greedent getting that is so dumb. I don't know why they did that.
Get ready for the 4 4
You-
4 4 4 4 4 body slam.
You ready for like the Greedent Umbreon teams in Ultra League now that just stall the clock? Like,
That'll work.
oh my God. Like Mandy Greedent Umbreon, you just run that.
Oh man, dude, that does sound awful.
Yeah.
You know, I actually saw some people post about Heliolisk, and it's actually pretty decent in Ultra League with Breaking Swipe. Shockingly. You wouldn't think it
Interesting.
would be. Like, let's go to Ultra League.
It's such a good move. Like
Yeah.
honestly, that's not.
Yeah, Breaking Swipe is a busted move.
So, here's current Heliolisk. Why...
Which is even more reason why it's embarrassing that Sceptile is still so bad.
Yeah.
It got an Aerial Ace
13.
buff. It got a Breaking Swipe edition.
Check this out.
Leaf Blade, Frenzy Plant. Still
Boom.
can't do it.
Gains like 13 new wins.
Jeez. That's kind of crazy.
Some notable losses here. But
It
it's a
just
lot
loses
better.
to all of the meta.
Yeah. Checking Great League. Good luck. It's gonna need it.
Too glassy, probably.
Oh, that's not the right. That's Ultra League IVs. It actually still loses to some things. Huh. In Ultra League 1 loses to Stunfisk. Okay. Wow. That's better than I thought it would be. Wow. Pretty good. 24 wins. Some notable losses. I think that's why it wasn't very high in the rankings. Yeah. Whew. Wow. It's got a good moveset, though. That's a fun one. Breaking Swipe's a really good move.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what do we got here? Fortunately, nothing wants Razor Shell. Good to give it more moves. More coverage. You never know you'll need it. I guess we did all that. Triple Axle's a pretty good move. Hitmontop? You
Yeah.
get a lot of rankings from that.
Yep.
If you see here, 32nd and 33rd best on my Sims. Not bad.
That's wild.
Triple Axle's really good. I gave it Close Combat Triple Axle.
I think that's the right stat.
Yeah, some people had Stone Edge Triple Axle, but then you lose out on some stuff. Like Stunfisk. It's tricky. Like, you're gonna lose access to some coverage. Like Azumarill, for example, is pretty bad with this move set. But
Yeah.
it's tough. You can't cover them all.
Yeah. Also, like Frostlass.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm sure Close Combat is fine into Frostlass.
Yeah. Let's look at a Matrix real quick. Hitmontop. And we'll look at them both. So, with Stone Edge, you lose A9 and Lantern in the ones.
That's funny.
Yeah.
The A9 is funny. But it makes sense.
Wow. Yeah, you're slower.
Yep.
And you debuff. Well, your debuff doesn't matter. You kill it. Either one kills it. So in the zeros, Stone Edge gets you Frostlass, A9, and Pelly. And you lose Lantern, Licky, and both Swamperts. Tough. So, Close Combat, looking little nice. It's a good move.
It is a good move.
So, well, that's another counter user you might be seeing soon. What else we got? Gardevoir's learning it. Probably not enough. I think we went through all these that are relevant. Diggersby's the biggest winner, especially for the Earthquake nerf. Because now it's going to run Scorching Sands all the time.
Yep.
Actually, unless Dig is really, really good. Like if Dig's a Drill Run clone, Mudshot and Quick Attack are both good. I ran through them both. It's weird because like Fire Punch was a really important bait before. You needed a bait with the Hyper Beam if you're running that, or even as Earthquake, you'd rather bait. But now you can just go straight Scorching Sands against pretty much anything, and you don't get punished very badly if they shield it right, because it's a little bit quicker. So Mudshot or Quick Attack just depends on what you want to hit with fast move pressure. Or, I mean, if you want to do more moves, you can do Mudshot, right? The biggest win for Mudshot was Water Gun Lantern.
Yeah, Water Gun Lantern.
So, if you want Water Gun Lantern, and I'm thinking that's going to be a lot more common now than you want Mudshot. But with, like, the Flyers and just anything neutral.
Well,
Quick
remember,
attack.
if you got that Scorching Sand debuff though, on the first one of the first two, you could flip the ones
Yeah. If you get Scorching Sand debuff on the
with quick
money
attack.
turn, you flip it to you again. Either one. You need 3 to kill
I
it in the
I
ones.
think quick attack is the play because Mandibuzz is so awkward because 2 hyper beams doesn't KO with mud shot, and so you just end up in a really awkward situation. I think quick attack would probably be the play, but
Wait, what about Palisand?
Palisand?
Yeah, because it's got Mudshot, Scorching Sand, Shadow Ball.
oh,
Well,
Yeah, that's a very good move set.
we'll take a look at it. Is Decidueye any good? I don't think it got a lot of good stuff this update. It got Magical Leaf. And is that better in stats? I thought it was worse.
Then Razor Leaf?
Let's run through that real quick, and then we'll look at Palisand.
Oh,
It's got
no,
what?
Leaf.
Magical
Leafage.
Leafage. Oh, it's also gonna get Astonish buff, if that's a good move. We'll put Astonish with 13 energy. That's like best case of ours. So we got Magical Leaf. It's got a lot of grass.
Its charge moves are too expensive for it.
Yeah.
It won't be great.
That's the most likely scenario.
It's still worse than Trev. Like,
Yeah.
simple
So it looks
as
like
that.
Razor Leaf is still the play whenever you have a cup that it's good in. You know, it was really good against my team in one of the recent cups. So I don't know if Magical Leaf is the play though versus Leafage. I mean, I'm surprised Astonish with 13 is that bad.
I'm gonna take off again, but
All right.
do the Palisand.
Yep. I'll do that real quick. I'll check Amphi too. I'll do Palisand next, and then I'll do Amphi. So its Magical Leaf is a 10-10 with a 3 turn, versus Leafage is a 6-7 with a 2 turn. So a 3 and a 3.5 versus a 3.33. So yeah, I guess Leafage is just what you want because it's faster and it's pretty close.
yeah, agree.
You know, they gave a lot of moves to this stuff, but it's not all PvP related. It's, you know, a little bit of everything. They just want to give things coverage, which is kind of nice.
Well-
because, like, right now, a lot of Pokemon only have, like, 3 moves. So, it's good to
Well-
have more things.
Yeah, and Matt PvPoke, he made a really good point on Twitter, where he said that like, quantities, or qualities, better, greater than quantity, and saying that like, I don't know, some of these updates, we're giving a lot of moves to a lot of things, but they're not really like moving the needle enough for a lot of them. And that's not to say that like everything needs to be open greatly viable with these changes too, but like some of them just don't really seem to even be necessarily moving the needle for limited, or restricted cups, limited metas. I don't know. It seems I don't know. Some of these things could be a little bit better better weighed out maybe potentially. Because yeah, it's it's a little disappointing when you see one of your favorite Pokemon, listed, get a new move, and then still not really it be impactful in any way. I think Leafage and Magical Leaf were 2 that he specifically mentioned too.
Well, this update's a good step in that direction.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of positives to take away from this too. I mean, we have seen some really interesting, for example, with like Trailblaze, they didn't just give it to like a ton of crap Pokemon, like they gave it to some really interesting Pokemon like Skuntank, or Wudo or different Pokemon that just didn't have access to grass coverage. You might not even expect to have access to grass coverage. And really change the way they play. Like Skunk Tank, that's the big change for Skunk Tank. I don't know what it'll be like. It'll depend on the meta, the limited meta, but it is really interesting for it to have coverage to its only weakness.
Well said. We got Palisand now. It's got a
How bulky is this thing? I don't even know a lot
Decent.
about this Pokemon.
decent.
Okay.
It's not the greatest in the win rate, sadly.
Yeah.
Mandibuzz, Sableye, Lickitung. I guess it's its typing hold us back. It's
Yeah. Yeah, not great typing. Still double nukes, honestly, right? So
you can't really get rid of Shadow Ball. So
yeah.
let's look at Ampharos. Oh man, it's got a million moves. Look at Great League.
And some of these Trailblaze Pokemon, they're starting to become like Swiss Army knife kind of Pokemon, honestly.
Look how many
'Cause
moves
they all-
Ampharos has now. This is insane.
No, but that's what I mean.
Mark
Like
your
Pokemon
TMs.
like Ampharos, like Skuntank, honestly, even. And then there's some other Pokemon that I saw on the list. I'm just not looking at it right now, but yeah, they really start to be
Oh,
like
snap.
Swiss Army knife type Pokemon, which is really cool. It's interesting. That used to just be like Mew and Hypno, and now it's, which is why we need charge TMs.
Yay. Let's look at Ultra League.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more TMs for these things.
Yeah.
So with Ultra League, here's some quick numbers. 18 wins. Getting a lot of 18 wins. 16 wins.
Not quite,
I don't know.
yeah.
Hey, you hit back against Swampert, though. Do you beat Swampert? Yeah, you beat it now. That's cool.
Yeah.
We beat Tapu. I'm sure you already did before. Well, I guess you. I don't know.
Ampharos is the kind of Pokemon though that I could see like being utilized in a GBL line in the right meta, or even maybe an open. It's like a safe switch, right? And you sort of tailor your moveset to fit that safe switch role in that meta. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't have to have a huge win rate necessarily, is what I'm trying to say, to be like effective in that kind of a role. Because it's just maybe the goal is to just sort of like bait the Swampert and threaten a shield with a Trailblaze, or chip it down with Brutal Swing, whatever else it is, and then farm down with something else.
Yeah, and now Ampharos can do that.
Yeah, but like more options like that still help it.
Mm-hmm. We got a question from first time chatter Caleb Pang. How many TMs you guys got? Hello. I have 456 fast, 150 charge, 15 elite fast, and 18 elite charged. I used to have a lot more charge, but then I started playing factions, and I started playing Mew. That brought it down. How many teams you got, Pauly? You have your game on?
I have 5, and Caleb knows
5
this
TMs?
already because I had to send him a screenshot. So
Oh man,
he's basically trolling me.
so what I'm hearing is you can't play Ampharos in this new update, sadly. Or Claydol. You gotta run Claydol.
Yeah.
They given Claydol, what was it, Scorch Sands?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, I'll have to think. I mean, the nice thing is some of these Pokemon already have the move on them, right? Because like Mandibuzz, like you just had Aerial Ace, even though it was terrible, because that was the best coverage move for Dark Mirrors. So things like that. At least I don't have to PM. But
Yeah. All right.
yeah,
I
I'll
guess
have
it's
to
Swalot.
choose wisely.
Here's Swalot. It's okay. It's okay. Mudshot Swalot. It's a lot better than the previous one, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Good bulk. Wow.
Yeah. Got some interesting coverage options too.
Can't believe we
Definitely
made
an
that list.
improvement.
Only took 3.5 hours.
Yeah, we did it. We made it to the end.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Master League and Ultra League. I think Master League won't be affected much. We barely touched Ultra League though. It's crazy. Swampert's getting
Yeah.
nerfed.
Yep.
Steelix is buff. Gliscor buff. I actually don't have Aerial Ace on here, but that's a pretty big one.
Yep. Well,
Rugia nerf. Yeah, that's a big Master League one. Probably the biggest.
I gotta run, but
Yep. I think we're gonna call it here.
yeah,
Wow. Thanks everyone.
this
What
was
a good
fun.
first stream.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good. I think we're gonna put this VOD either on Twitch or on YouTube. So
Yep.
if
I
you want to
recorded
watch
the whole
back
thing.
stuff you missed
Whatever.
earlier on, yeah. All right, see ya.
Thanks everyone. See you later.